I was gonna say, right, where do we start? Where we left off from the last podcast that we did was a little over a month ago. We left off with Red in the hospital from the whole corny thing. So she and actually we left the day that we did that podcast. Ended up being the same day that Corny came in and shot up the room. So right after that podcast is where that happened. So that's literally where we've left off. Since we've talked about anything. It was over a month ago, exactly, Dread. So we've got a lot of catching up to do. Plus all the stuff that's happened since, which has just been fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where to start, actually, other than...
I don't have a whole lot of time tonight.
Do we want to start with you?
I think we can. If everyone's okay with that, we can start at the most recent event.
Yeah.
Okay, we could do that. How much time do you have?
Say 25, 30 minutes, and I think we can cover what I got.
What the heck?
Okay.
What the heck?
I'll be back later, too.
Oh.
Okay, good.
Oh, okay.
With Arthur, of course. With Arthur.
Like, oh, yeah, I'll be back. Like, you guys might still be doing this when I get back.
I don't know if we will. I'm thinking 2 to 3 hours, maybe. We'll see. We'll see how.
I should be back.
Okay. So what I will say, just so that everyone's aware of who all is actually on the call with us, we've got Ash, we've got Roxy. Wait, was Vanderbilt still alive?
No, she was dead.
She was already dead by that. But we didn't talk about it, did we?
No.
Shit, we still got to talk about that. So we've got Roxy / Dead Vanderbilt on the line. Ash. We've got Sky. We've got Meredith. We've got Arthur. We've got Elliot, and we've got Maverick. That's so far what we've got. Oh,
Shut up.
We've got Dead Arthur on the line.
We've got Josh.
We do not have Josh. Josh isn't invited.
We now have Josh.
Time to kick out Josh.
Yeah.
Okay. So, we can start. Yeah, let's start with the most recent, and we can backtrack. How's that?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot to talk about. The point of these podcasts, by the way, is to kind of do a recap, but it's also to go behind, like it says, go behind the RP, for the opportunity to explain what the character was thinking, what was their emotions, what was going on around them, because not everyone sees all the RP playing out at the same time, right? We do want to be careful about any meta, so let's just keep that in mind, that if it's something a tad bit lower on the music on my end, are you talking to me, Canadian, or are you talking to him?
She's one of mine.
Whose music? So she's talking about your music?
Yes. So, yeah.
Okay. Just making sure. Also, if anyone else is streaming and would like to collab, let me know, because I'm already sharing with. Oh, it looks like we've already got Marky and Golden going. So if anyone else would like to collab and is streaming, just let me know, and we can get you in on this collab as well. So we do need to be careful about meta. Like, if it's something that your character has not revealed or someone else has not yet learned in RP, probably should refrain from talking about it too much. But other than that, it's an opportunity to kind of explain what was going on at that time in the RP surrounding the character that made them make a certain decision, or whatever the case may be, and then kind of what was going through their head and their emotions and all that kind of stuff. Gives a little bit more background and explanation of behind the RP. So, obviously, with that theme being said, we're starting with the most heartbreaking part of this whole conversation, aren't we?
I think start with the most recent events, the most recent major events. I mean, we can also talk about the attempt on Red's life last night and the fallout that Arthur's death has brought.
So I did go back and rewatch that, and we can bring up a clip of that if we need to, but yeah, it was interesting. I think I misunderstood the shooting out of my tire part. But the rest of it was legit. So yeah, that was interesting. We could talk about that too. But let's, I guess, start with the big, elephant in the room.
This being my
Arthur's death.
last behind the RP for a while.
Probably until you get reintroduced back into the group somehow. Yeah, I would say so. It's probably your last one.
Yeah. So
You shouldn't have.
I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have
You
perma,
shouldn't-
but you know
You
what?
shouldn't have run. I
But you know
don't.
what?
So
Um,
everyone
I-
has. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I'll let you because I'm gonna jump straight into what Arthur was feeling.
Okay, I was
want
just
me
gonna
to-
say I respect people that leave all those decisions and stuff that they make for their character up to dice rolls. But one thing I'm not a big fan of is choosing if your character lives or die by a dice roll. I just don't like that. I feel like that if it's a throwaway character, sure. But personally, me, I don't think I would ever let a dice roll determine whether my character lived or died because I love my character too much. I just
No,
I was
I
begging him
get
not to
that,
do
and
it.
everyone was begging me not to do it. I think I had 4 different people DMing me that night, like, "Don't you dare fucking perma."
You know what?
You're not-
You know what my thought process was? I was like, he wants to die so fucking
know,
bad.
I
Let him. Just fucking let him die, for God's
Well-
sake. I'm tired of fighting with this guy.
No, and you know
For
what?
real, he was like, the next time I get shot, and I was like, well, you didn't get shot, so
No,
No,
like,
he said the
I
next time
said
he
it.
went down.
I said it on my stream the night that the gardener attacked Arthur. I was like, the next time I get fucked like this, the next time I get fucked up, like, it's done. If I
But
roll
then
in
you
that
put
one,
yourself
I'm
in a
done.
situation an hour after you get out of the hospital to do so. That's what's
mhm.
crazy to me.
See, I figure
Uh,
yeah, I don't know.
But you know what though? But I can't fault you. I we may be like giving you such a hard time for this, but I can't fault you because it is still content.
I agree.
And it sparked a
Mhm.
lot of RP, and it's giving everyone a lot of RP. I can't fault you for chasing the content, so I get it. But at the same time, damn it, Arthur. Really. Anyways, so you did send me. Do you want me to start with the thing that you sent?
I
That you
think
messaged me?
I want that to be the end. I want that to be the end of my time talking.
Okay.
I think
So you just let me know when.
yeah.
So you then
So-
go ahead and take the floor.
So Arthur was, as he talked to Red, he was feeling very defeated, very deflated, and he was beginning to lose his drive again. He had put together the team that was going to save, that was going to help everyone, that was going to keep everyone alive. Take over for him when he died. And this team was doing so good. And it was almost that they didn't need Arthur anymore, and that is how he felt. And honestly, like, out of character, I'm like, they will be able to do so well without Arthur, being that moral compass. I'm really excited to see where they will go without my character. That was what was going through my head originally, like when I was on the table. But
Right.
I think it felt so cinematic for Arthur to have that moment of realization with Red, that conversation where he told Red exactly how he was feeling. Because I think it was like the first time he was open and honest about his less happy feelings with anybody.
I think you've hit, like, the character had hinted at it before.
But he's never said
and-
it.
Well, I think there's been some comments here and there. But as far as the in-depth conversation like that that happened, no, I think that was the first time. Yeah.
Arthur
Which-
Arthur was on the verge of like a breakdown and a crash. And I messaged Jay about it originally, and I was like, this arc for Arthur is going to end in one of two ways. It's going to end with him retiring or him crashing out and getting killed.
Yeah.
And then the next day was the meeting with Boxy.
Not my fault.
Yeah, not her
I've been
fault
trying
either.
for days. Okay.
No, I don't.
She
I
had-
don't give her the fault at all.
Oh my god, no! It's like
In character, probably, yeah.
No, and I want to preface, like I've killed Arthur, obviously, but out of character, we are all friends. I talk to Boxy almost every day. Like,
Oh no, 100%. If anyone thinks that any of this is, not RP, please let's remind everyone this is RP, and everyone's cool outside of the city for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Red wants to murder, well, wanted to murder Arthur on many occasions, but IRL, nah, we laugh about it behind the scenes. We're good. So yeah, no questions there about that.
The tears are real, though.
Oh, the tears were kind of sort of legit.
The tears are still
All
real
of mine
sometimes.
were real. All of them.
the
Because
tears.
you know why though? Because obviously you're not dead. You, Marky, are not dead, and we know that. But the fact that our characters are not going to get to have that time with Arthur anymore. I mean, it feels like a real death.
Mhm.
It's
It
sad
does.
because
It does. It really does.
and I mean that's
Yeah.
that's the kind of the thing with permas. The person's really gone, but with how much Arthur impacted the group and was, like, I mean, you were always on the phone. You were always having a conversation. Like your RP, your conversations, you were always just go, go, go. And so Arthur involved himself in a lot of storylines, and therefore all of us were involved with Arthur. And having that yanked out of the equation, it makes it feel quiet and
Exactly.
lonely. Without Arthur,
Exactly.
they're always doing something. Now we have to figure out, where do we go now? Like, what do
Mhm.
we do?
Where do we go? What do we do?
But
Okay, Steven Universe.
I will say, and I think Ash could probably touch on this a bit.
It's probably been nice.
Huh?
It's probably been nice. The quiet has probably been.
No, it's been
I'm not
fucking
talking about that.
miserable.
I'm talking about him. Him picking up the mantle and continuing on in Arthur's place, and the amount of
Yes.
probably stress that has over the last few days been just thrown on his shoulders. Like, I mean,
Oh,
Ash,
yeah.
you're the one who could take those. Are you going to talk as Ash this whole time?
No. I'm not talking as Ash
Okay.
right now.
Okay. I would say take it over and kind of just put your 2 cents in about what you've experienced, your character's experienced with becoming the leader now.
Yeah. Stress. I definitely. I'm trying to think because ultimately what it burns down to is everyone wants to, I guess, like interact with the character and get information, but like you're constantly being juggled of like you have to pick sides a lot, I guess, leading where no matter what you do, people are going to be unhappy in character, of course. But yeah, that's
Right.
definitely stressing them out.
Yeah. Well, and then people wanting the answers that you can't provide, and the constant
should
phone
do this
calls,
earlier.
and yeah.
I'm
And
sorry
that's
if I
one
kept calling
thing.
you guys.
Thank you, Fancy, for the follow.
You're sorry? No, you're good. You are so good, Just don't worry about it. It was chaos for everybody.
There
But,
was. I want to touch on this. There was like 3 or 4 things that happened the day of my perma, and like the few days leading up to my perma, that really made me feel comfortable doing it in the moment and not planning it at all.
Yeah, but the instant regret after, huh?
Not even after. I think it wasn't until I got in bed that night and I was there in my silence with my thoughts, left alone to my thoughts. And I was like, damn, I really just fucking did that.
Yeah.
There was no plan to perma. Like, I've talked about how I wanted Arthur to go out and it never happened. The situation, it felt right. The things leading up to it. Arthur's protege finally being let into the group, with Meredith, and Sky's demon being exorcised, and Red. I don't know if you realize this, Mama. I don't think I've said it to you out of character yet. Something you said that night. It was one of the reasons why I was like,
"Oh, Maxie with the resub. Thank you so much." One of the things she said, what?
So when we were talking about how things should be done, Maverick was like, let's just fucking murder them. You know, I'm paraphrasing. It's like, let's just fuck him up. Let's kill him. And Red was like, no, we should do things the right way. We do things the right way here. You know? Like, I saw that and I was like, Arthur had that big of an impact on Red. That, you know, he doesn't even have to say it anymore. Red's first instinct is, we're doing it the right way.
Yeah, but so that's where the complications have come in with Red now. Because she always it was always, everything about all that was to please Arthur. It was to make Arthur happy, to make him think that she was on the right path, so that he didn't, you know, she was thinking along the lines of, if I start going back to my old ways and start doing those things, Arthur would leave her. And so yes, it became an instinct, but then now that Arthur's gone, it has kind of put her into this, back to the beginning of her, when they first met, and it was this, how do I explain it? Like this conflict that she was facing between who she used to be and who she was becoming, and the internal arguments that she would have with herself, I guess you could say. It's putting her back to that point. It's putting her back to questioning, what am I actually doing here? Does this make sense for me anymore? With Arthur gone, there's nothing holding me back.
Her.
Yeah,
Well, I think it's going to build up into eventually it's going to boil into a, do I go back to my old ways? Do I,
or do I honor Arthur's memory? That's the conflict right now. Yes.
Yeah, and I think it's going to come down to that choice eventually, and I think that's going to be big for Red's character, and it's going to be a real testament to how Arthur impacted her life.
You know what though, is still a consideration, still a major factor in her trying to stay grounded as the way that Arthur was working with her on, is
Holy
Elliot.
Shit, Miles, thank you so much.
Because now
almost 2 years is insane.
It's her taking on the responsibility of trying to be there for his kid.
Mm.
So that is kind of now coming into play with her feeling like that's all that's left of Arthur. And this kid's on a downward spiral, obviously. Massively a downward spiral. And desperately trying to keep this kid from ending up in the grave next to his dad.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it's boiling down to as of right now. Now, if Elliot dies, fuck it. At that point, I'm just saying,
oh no,
fuck it.
Like that's why Sky's stepping up so much.
I will touch on Homewrecker. I will touch on the fact that this week I have not streamed. I have not been in RP. I have not done anything since I perma'd. I was in the Everyday briefly to get my new character into the DOJ, because I was re-rolling into the DOJ.
Mm-hmm.
But ain't no freaking way. Yeah. But
yeah, Red already ran into him at the freaking graveyard and was like, I thought it was Elliot. I swear to God, I was like, Elliot?
So Josh has run into Red, Sky, and Immy. 3 of the people probably most affected by Arthur's death, which I find so hilarious.
But I wasn't. I was trying to pick up on what you were doing, so I wasn't sure. Was this just a straight up new character, or was this was this supposed to be the new face of Arthur, like the reincarnation of him? And I was trying to I'm like, wait a minute, am I gauging this correctly?
I'm not.
Did he just come back as a child?
I have a theory.
You're not gonna. What do you mean you're not gonna touch on that?
No, that question I'm not going to touch on, because I have been cooking something up.
Okay, so yeah. Then if that's the case, it's meta. You don't want to spoil anything.
Well, I mean, I can touch on the fact that Arthur is not returning as we knew him to Unscripted, not anytime soon. There is a story that is coming that I have been working on, and I have been giving little spoilers to everybody. And I'm gonna pull one of them up on my stream.
Which one are you pulling up so that I can show it?
Dear
Is it
Red.
the one you sent? Oh, you bastard! Yeah,
I'm-
that's the one you sent me. I don't need you to send it again.
Yeah,
Here, I'll pull it up on my stream.
yeah. So I'm pulling it up.
Hold
I
on, hold on,
sent.
Let me get it. Let me get it.
There is something that I am working on, and this
This
here.
is what he sent. This is what he sent. Chat
Chat,
for
it
you
is
guys to see.
handwritten letter.
How
for
assholey
lack
is
of a better
that?
word, that begins with "Dear Red" with the
So-
title "Talent Investigation."
There is more coming to that. That it's
Uh-huh.
not just going to end with his perma.
Well, Lena,
Arthur's story. Oh, I mean, no. Lena's is going to say "fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you."
Still not
Lena.
Truly though, yeah, it's not Lena's. Who do we want to say? Who are we going to collectively as a group agree that the fault lies with? Me personally, I think we all vote Aphrodite. Aphrodite.
I think we all vote Aphrodite.
Yeah, that's who I vote.
I think, like, arguably, when it comes down to it, like, yes, Arthur should not have told the team. But
he never messed up on telling someone who would say something.
He never expected that Lena would tell someone else, and he never expected that it would leave the team. Because when he told the team, he trusted them all.
Right.
And I think
And
at
as
that
it should
point,
be, and it should be that way for the team,
Mhm.
because that's what we do.
And I want to like also touch on the fact that the team has lost more members than it's gained recently.
No.
Which might also be good.
Well, maybe not though, because it seems. So let's think about it though. We've lost obviously Arthur, we've lost Lena, and we've lost Prudence.
Yeah.
Who else?
And
then also not to mention the people that are grounded from investigating stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And Elliot is
Elliot.
grounded. Elliot is grounded. But besides those 3.5, who else?
That's it though, I think.
That's it, right? But then who have we gained? We've gained Meredith. We've gained
Meredith.
somewhat Maverick and somewhat Tiny Teeth. Right?
What,
Those are
Tiny
two
Teeth?
he's one of Red's prospects.
Oh, gotcha.
Informants, I guess you could say, that she's working with to possibly bring in. But and then who else? So it's been Meredith.
Daniel as well is going to be moving to
Daniel's
informant.
possibly, yeah. So I would say it's an even trade. It's not. We're not losing more than we're getting back. Ash.
No, but
we're just not growing.
You're losing the substance. Lena. Oh my God! I want to talk about the connection that we made. That Lena was 100% like the one leaking information to the governor.
I wish Jen was in here right now, because now that that's over, I want her to tell us who the fucking leak was.
I do too.
But you want to know what I think? You want to know what I think? I don't think it was a specific person. I think she was just saying that. I want to talk. Is she? Hold on.
Is she live
Jen,
right now?
Jen
No,
did
she's
say
not
in
even-
City that the specific leak is not on the emergency contact list, though.
So okay, so it's a specific person then. So then if that's the case, then it probably was Lena. Because she was the only one not on Red's list, and that was a mistake. That was an accident. That wasn't on purpose. But even still, Lena was not on Red's emergency contact list, but she was the only other person in the group, a part of the team. So that's where I think Ash made that connection, didn't he?
Yep.
Yeah, that's the connection he made, is that Lena's the leak, because that's what Jen said, that it's somebody not on Red's emergency contact list.
And as she said that, Ash walked out the door and saw Lena sitting down on the chair.
Oh,
Fuck.
Also, Ash, I let the conversation get away. Is Sky an informant officially, or like, it's just the
No.
guy that tells you shit?
So I'm about to send another little spoiler, another little hint as to what the arc I'm planning, what is going to happen might be.
Oh, don't. I know what you're saying. Okay? Are you gonna say it though, or are you just gonna leave it at that? And should I show people what you just sent me?
no and no. I'm not going to say
Okay,
it. It's going to be
so then why
revealed.
even? Okay.
It's gonna. Oh no, because it's gonna be revealed tonight.
It's
But
sad
later
because then that makes
tonight,
me
or
think she's not coming back either.
She's not.
Wait,
She's
who's-
left.
Well,
She left the Discord.
Ew.
she-
You-
Oh,
Go look
Damn.
at your shared Discords with her, and you can see like she is.
so then I guess we can just say it then at this point. So Prudence is not going to be back in Unscripted. So
oh,
yeah,
Prudence is not going to be back in Unscripted.
thank you, Scaremaster, for the
I
follow.
miss
I
her
love you.
so much. She was like my favorite.
So we have always treated the Daisy After as a spinoff.
Mm-hmm.
A
Can we-
spinoff to I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it, but I'm gonna say it very vaguely. There is a new spinoff in the works that is going to start tonight.
He just can't keep it to himself.
But it's
I
not going to
can't.
be in DayZ.
It's not going to be in DayZ.
So then I know what you're doing. I already know what you're doing then. I already know. I knew because you were talking about it long before you died.
Is it going to be in Rebirth or Unscripted?
No questions.
No questions.
Okay.
It's going to be revealed tonight.
Well, good luck with that, and then of course I'm sure people will be watching.
Very nice to meet you, Scaremaster.
We're going to need to
we'll
plan the
find out.
funeral.
I've seen you around a
We're
couple
going to need
times.
to plan the funeral soon for the big emotions that I'm going to be doing.
Ooh.
No.
Yeah, we're definitely working on that. We'll
yeah.
try to do
The
that.
thing with that is too, like, I'm trying to write something for the funeral. Like Elliot like he wants to say something at the funeral, but like I'm just lack of words on that whole department. I'm like, what do you even say? How do you even say? Like,
I'm in that
What
same
should
exact
you
fucking
say?
boat. I have no
you know
idea
what?
what to
You
say
know
or
what
how.
though? Are you trying to write what? Like a goodbye speech?
like a
yeah,
eulogy.
yeah, like well, you know, like people are like saying their goodbyes, like, oh, like, you know, like this happened with Arthur, like, you know, when I was 5, he gave me like a red balloon, like a memory stuff, you know, when with
eulogy.
funerals. Yeah, I don't know how it's
Yeah.
called. And
Yeah,
I'm trying to
eulogy.
write something like that, but it's like,
Hmm.
it's like,
Yeah,
So-
I get you.
While the story of Arthur in Unscripted is over, it was a good story. I enjoyed role playing with all of you. I hope to be able to role play with you all again and to really pull at your heartstrings a little bit more.
Fuck you, bruh.
Public enemy number one.
Just fuck you.
But
This freaking guy.
I mean, ultimately, everything really lined up perfectly. You know, Arthur was getting ready to be happy with someone.
You could have just retired, bro. You could
I
have just
could've.
retired.
I could have. Arthur was ready to, you know, settle down, as he's talked about doing multiple times with Red. And Red was always like, well,
You hurt me.
That's not.
could you Red was like, could you actually ever settle down?
You kept saying settle down in a way of well, I should say Arthur kept saying settle down in a way of like it was confusing because sometimes it made it seem like settle down as far as getting married, but then also settle down as far as retiring from, because you used it multiple times, retiring
did.
from either the DOJ or retiring from the investigation team. Scaremaster, thank you so much for the sub, the gifted sub of that. So you kept referring to settle down, but you were using it for multiple explanations, I would say. And it was confusing because it's like, are you talking about settling down?
Getting
Because
married
you
and
want-
retiring.
But
was
you
both.
don't have to do both. You know what I'm
It
saying?
was. That's what
Okay, well,
that's what Arthur
That
wanted.
may have been where the confusion came from because Red didn't want you to settle down as far as retiring. Like, she kept trying to explain to you, why don't you just, you need to choose, obviously, because you were having a problem doing both. And you would go and I think there was actually a conversation.
Thank you so much for
There
the
was.
miles.
There was a
For the-
conversation of saying, what do you love
Yeah.
to do more?
Yeah, that's
Because
one
you
you
were
get.
stuck and you were in the middle between the DOJ and the private investigating.
But that was
And
when
she
I was
asked-
like, that's when they were talking about making Arthur a judge.
Yes, that was that conversation where it was like, well, what do you like to do more? Is the DOJ make you feel fulfilled? Do you feel like you could solely focus all of your time there? Or are you going to be constantly dragged back to investigating? And then vice versa.
Or is
Does
Sky
the
and Hopper going to drag you in?
investigations
into
do the
chaos for him?
investigations give you that thrill and that sense of fulfillment? And do you feel like you're going to keep getting dragged into the DOJ? It came down to her saying you need to decide, because if you can't do both and it's killing you and it's burning you out, then you do need to choose one. But the question is which one do you love more? That was the conversation that they had. Am I wrong?
No, you're not.
Yeah.
So to finish that last thought, because I think so. Arthur was finally ready to settle down, marriage and retirement. Arthur was finally ready to like be happy and relax. Sky had just gotten, his exorcism. Red finally seemed like she was getting ready to move on. His sons, he had made amends with all 3 of his sons.
4, kind of.
4, kind of. He had made amends with all 4 of his sons.
Wait, who's the fourth again?
Oh my god.
Stefan.
Stefan.
Oh my God, you're right. We keep doing that, don't we?
We do.
Aw,
Kind of like we
gee.
keep doing
Poor
the whole
Stefan.
Sky Ash thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, what
But,
is with
um,
that?
I'm getting,
I do it.
I'm
I
getting
do it.
I'm getting sidetracked again. So, everything was falling into place for Arthur to have a happy ending, which I don't think I ever wanted for him.
You rat.
No, you
Oh.
definitely didn't. We could tell.
You rat.
You did not want a happy ending for that man.
He made people attached
No,
to him and
you
said
did.
he's a tragedy.
Arthur did so much bad in previous lives, and he never deserved the happy ending.
Lie.
So
A
right,
redemption, though, you could have deserved a redemption arc, which you had
he had
going
He
for
was
it.
had-
Right there.
he was in his redemption arc, and I think dying during the finally getting better, finally redeeming himself. I think dying during that arc, when everyone could see, everyone was telling him he was better, he was getting better.
They could see the difference. Yeah,
Knew he was
I think-
capable.
yeah.
You
That's
know,
just the
everyone-
extra stab in the gut with it, though.
Yeah,
I think.
and then you rip away
And I
everything
think-
that could have been. And now we have to think
I
about
think
what
that-
could have been.
And I think that's what makes it so poetic, so
It
tragic.
It
does.
does.
It is tragic. It is poetic. It pisses us off, but
Mhm,
you're right.
mhm.
It is. Good
And,
RP, as much as I
Good
hate to admit it.
storytelling.
It was amazing content. It was
It was great content.
poetic.
At least Rick
And I think,
Richards
you
doesn't
know-
have to have him in the ICU anymore.
Rick Richards.
He's
I mean,
probably
Rick
relieved
even-
as fuck.
No, you know what? He even said, "I'm gonna miss having you in my ICU all the
Uh-huh,
time."
uh-huh. You did say that.
So I think
He also
think-
said for Beyonce to take care of him.
Yeah.
I think with that being said, with Arthur finally gone, sadly finally gone, I think we're ready for that video.
Oh, this guy.
This is gonna be all right, guys. Let me pull it up. This is gonna be such a fucking tearjerker. Hold on.
Everyone on
And
mine, go over to
let me-
Mama's. I'm not doing this again. It hurts.
I. It's a tearjerker, guys. Not gonna lie. Let me get back over here real quick.
I'll link it in a description or
And-
something. Go cry on your own.
Oh, go read the description before we start.
You put a description in it? You
I did.
rat.
Did you?
I did.
You rat.
Says, I want to start by saying I enjoyed every second of playing this character. I'm so grateful for the fact that I was able to tell such a compelling story with all of the amazing creators listed below and the ones I did not get reactions from. More people, but thank you for the bottom
okay,
of my
I
heart.
forgot. Ah,
It's okay.
that
Oh, and then he
There's more.
listed it, all of the channels. That's sweet.
Oh,
That's sweet, sweet. Okay. Fuck. Okay, guys, let's put this here. Let me pause my music, and there we go. We are gonna push play on this sad video.
go to Mama's. Go to Mama's. I'm not playing it. Go over there. I'm not playing it. I'll put it in the description. Pod
You
watchers,
can't
it's
hear
in the
it on your
description.
end.
Wait, you can't hear it
Oh wait,
on my end?
I have your stream muted.
All right, tell me if you can hear it. You can hear it, right? Uh, that's beautiful, but sucks so bad. Especially the Emmy part, like that one.
Oh, the Emmy.
Ooh, fuck you, Arthur. As Red said it.
Oh, every fucking time, man.
Fuck
I can't believe you added that post with the person endorsing himself.
I said that.
With the person what?
Endorsing
That
the
the guy who got
governor.
impeached.
Oh, with the Governor Anthony Corretto.
Yeah.
that was a nice touch. But damn,
Mark, if
first of
you're
all,
talking, no,
good
you're
job
not.
on that video. Yeah, good job on editing that video. That was good. Huh?
I hear her.
You can't hear me?
Jesse, I think
You might
that's just
have
you.
me muted.
Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh. Yeah, I think she either has me muted or can you hear me now, Jesse?
Uh-oh.
Jesse.
Ruh-roh.
Had you turned down. I turned up.
Okay, there you go. Okay, gotcha.
Mark?
So yeah, oh my god. Yeah, so great job on editing that video, first of all, and getting all those different points of view together like that. So that was pretty good. But whew, that was definitely a tearjerker to watch.
Mhm.
And I guess I'll let you take the floor back since it's your last few minutes, huh?
I really just kind of want to, I guess, really just thank everybody for putting up with my bullshit.
You're gonna make me cry. You're gonna make me cry
It
again.
has been, I think in total, I want to say I spent the better part of 3 days working on that video.
Yeah, it was good.
He was absolutely locked in.
and
It was amazing.
I could not think of anything else other than finishing that video. And I had to take a break every few hours to do some crying.
Yeah.
I still haven't been able to finish his VOD.
I think one of probably the most frustrating things in character for the group that is left behind was, and I know Red said it at the graveyard at one point with both Ash and Mav there, is why wouldn't he just listen? Like, how many times it felt like they had to constantly do and fight tooth and toenail to keep Arthur from dying. And even to the point where Red almost died twice for him. So it was just one of those overwhelming realizations that it was like no matter what we did, this guy still ended up fucking dying. And it almost felt like a waste. Like not a waste, but like you know those have you guys ever watched those TV shows? And I think the one of the best ones was that I can recall that did this was a TV show called 24. Do you guys remember that TV show? Well, it was a while back. It was years ago, but it was basically 24 hours that this guy had to save his wife, and each episode was 1 hour in the TV series. And he was trying to save his wife. She was kidnapped, something like that. And there were so many near misses. Like he kept almost finding her, like to the point where she was in the back of a trunk of a car of her kidnapper, and he went and drove down, and the two cars literally passed each other. Like so many near misses that kept happening. And then he finally finds her at the very last hour, and she gets shot in the head right in front of him. Like, do you understand what I'm saying? Like the anticipation of working your ass off to try to find and save somebody, and just the
at the end of the day, there was
the feeling of
nothing you could
defeat. The feeling of defeat when you fail is what that really felt like. It felt like we were completely defeated in all of our attempts to keep Arthur alive. Just throwing that out there.
It will get worse in a second. I'm just telling you.
Oh no.
And not but like I watch back the font. Because like sometimes I go to sleep at like 4 a.m., wake up at 7 a.m., And I'm like, okay, are there people online? If not, I'll go back to sleep. And I was
Right.
like, oh yeah, there are people online. And I go online. Hey, Arthur's in the hospital. Okay, I'll just go there. He's dying. He's dead. The autopsy has already been done. And I'm like, okay, what the fuck just happened? So I watched back the
Yeah.
VOD, and so many mistakes from the team's part. And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, I saw this happen like a few weeks ago, but like that's why Elliot made the little note, like, hey, these are just some improvements that could be done. Do with it whatever you want. But, like, he was
Right.
working on it for like at least 2-3 weeks now. But
Yeah.
after seeing that VOD, I was like, okay. First of all, Arthur is like, okay, Roxy is coming over. Without like even, hey, is it okay if she's coming over?
Had the
And then
conversation in
second-
front of them.
Yeah, like he
Well,
was
and
just like,
If
just
anyone's,
Red.
yeah, I was gonna say, if anyone saw that scene, are you talking about the scene at the jetty?
Yeah,
Yeah, that
You had-
scene, all three of them yelled at Arthur
Yeah.
for how stupid he was at that moment.
yeah,
I've never seen
Like
Ash
they were
angry.
legit yelling at him like, you just got out of the hospital and you're going to invite down a person that just tried to kill Lena and wants to now talk to you face to face for the same issue, to talk in person. You know what's going to happen. Like, they laid into Arthur, but at that point it was too late. They were
That was the
already on their
last
way.
thing. That was the last thing they all said to him. Yep.
Yeah.
it got even worse. It gets even worse because Arthur couldn't
Does it?
decide who to pick. He didn't know, like he had to pick or something, and he said all bunch of names, and I was like, just say one fucking name, one.
He kept trying to
And
pick himself.
ultimately, he ended up choosing Red. Now, that's a great thing to ask. Why? Was it simply because of the stare?
He did pick Ash first.
Well, he did,
Yeah,
but then Red kind of like looked at him in a convincing way, and he chose her instead. What was going through the character's mind for that?
I think he just got yanked.
Did he get yanked?
I think he just got IRL yanked for a second.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, I heard a voice and I was
but he
quiet.
got
He might have.
We'll give him a second.
Sorry.
Bummer.
even
You're fine.
worse.
You're fine.
Oh, he's back.
Did you hear what I
Okay.
asked?
Why Arthur picked Red?
Yeah, what was going through his mind? Because, like, I think he did initially pick Ash, and then
He didn't
changed
pick
it after
anyone.
Red gave. Huh?
No, he didn't pick anyone. He was saying he was begging, like him saying all of their names was him begging them to give him a sign, to give him guidance. It was
But they all
bad.
were, though. So they were all
Everyone
staring at
was.
you.
Everyone was.
Everyone was going,
No,
pick me, pick me, pick me.
fucking- I think Maverick gave a nod. Maverick gave a nod and was like, I took it as like, if it's me, I understand. I'm gonna be pissed, but I understand. Red gave a stare with a what was it you said?
Telling.
A
Tell
telling
eyes.
stare with telling eyes. So it's like, okay, she's telling me to choose her. And I don't know. Did Ash do a slash me? Because I did not see it.
I did. I just didn't want to. Not that anyone else did this. I just didn't want to put too much information in a look because I feel like that's a little. So I just put like is staring at you and just trying to make sure that I wasn't breaking or worried or anything like that.
So I mean, ultimately, it was like, Arthur is begging. He's begging one of them to say something, to give him some guidance, to tell him what he should do. All the while, he is still pleading with Roxy to take him instead.
What's funny though
Not that
is
it mattered.
I was gonna say though, because this two-part thing here. First of all, Red, I guess, would have been the best choice because she fucking didn't go down. She did not go down.
Which
So
will
that
get
was
us in
kind
a
of the-
second.
But secondly, so Boxy, I really answer this question in regards to having Arthur choose and then ended up stabbing that person. Did you intend to start stabbing everyone else, or did that happen accidentally and then you rolled with it?
I was gonna ask that,
No,
but I
it was
thought I'd keep the-
intentional.
It was intentional.
Okay, so you
Aw,
you
gee.
always had the intention of going that. Okay.
Yeah.
It kind of looked like you were trying to swing at red a second time and it missed and hit someone else. And then you just rolled with it. That's what I thought at first.
Yeah, it hit me in my fucking leg.
So
Yeah. I went to go hit red and then was gonna try and hit Ash, but just I was glitchy that night.
That's
it's the whole reason
we
why
all
Which
Chrissy had
could
to
have
stab.
saved Arthur. It
Ah,
could have saved
gee.
Arthur.
If only that glitch
Yeah, no, when
kept
I
you
walked
from
up to
stabbing
Arthur, I
anybody.
couldn't stab him. So I literally had to hand over the knife to somebody else and was like, here, you take care of it.
Yes.
Otherwise, it would have been Roxy. But I literally glitched out.
But yeah, so
Wow.
I mean, I had to add in the horrified look, that I think Boxy, you said that one hit Roxy. The horrified
later
look in
on,
Arthur's
later on.
eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that
The-
that
The horrified look.
oh yeah, while you guys were getting stabbed, I did a /me stares absolutely horrified.
Oh, got you.
That shit
like
got me.
because
With
that
the context afterwards too, I'd assume that'd be pretty haunting.
like Arthur's one weakness, right? And like it's something that's always been his one weakness is that he wants to protect everyone. And everyone knew it. Arthur was the self-sacrificing type.
He very much was. And the fact that he got robbed of being the hero in that moment was the probably worst way for him to die.
Yeah, that's
Which
what
is
I
why
Well,
commented on,
and
yeah.
we talked about parallels too.
It like the amount of parallels that existed in that fucking oh my god.
Parallel to who? To Vanderbilt? Who?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
The fact that he'd done stuff to protect Roxy and ended up essentially not protecting her.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy, man. That just damn it, Aphrodite.
It hurts.
Fucking Aphrodite.
It fucking hurts.
Anyways.
I normally don't let myself like if every other circumstance was a little different, if this was something purely out of what happened out of that situation, I probably would not have permit Arthur. I probably would have been like, okay, this is the consequences of someone doing something they shouldn't have.
Yeah.
But
here's the
it was all too good. Everything leading
It's the
up to it
content.
was
It's the content. It's the storyline. Gotta go with it, right?
everything
it.
was
Don't gotta
I know.
love it.
No, but everything was so good. Everything just it was Arthur's
It hurts.
time.
It definitely hurts. It's a sad one. I haven't had a whole lot of people that I've known in RP perma. I know a lot more people that perma like in purple, but they seem to be, from what I've seen, a lot of throwaway characters. In the city that I came from, the permas were rare. We didn't have people that dying left and right like that. So when someone died, it was like the whole city heard about it. You know what I mean? So that is probably the most heartbreaking and painful death that I've had to experience in RP. Not necessarily my character, but me having to experience an RP. That was the hardest one.
Yeah, can you break
And,
your heart
yeah.
even more?
So no, I
What?
started at the top.
Because you and Ash survived the stabbing,
Mm-hmm.
and
And Maverick.
Yeah, but like Maverick was like laying, like choking on his own blood.
Yeah.
And
You're talking about us getting up and running off. Okay, gotcha.
Mhm.
yeah, like you guys wanted to save Arthur, but the first thing you two do is run away from him. And
I
I'm
disagree
like,
with that. I still
also
think that
do.
that was the best play.
We were in handcuffs.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
still
but, like,
disagree.
you
There's,
should
what are we
have
supposed to do? Yell
something, put pressure on the wound.
with our head?
Yeah,
Wait,
with your hands on your back or
No,
something.
no.
I don't know.
It would have
Like,
been
you're
him
gonna-
bleeding out till he died.
Yeah, there would have been nothing. The going and finding help because we couldn't call 911. They took our phones. Or did they take our phones?
No, but we were
They took
zipped.
You were zipped.
They took Red's phone. They took
No,
Red's phone.
They did not.
No, they didn't take my phone.
They didn't take anything. From it.
But I mean, it doesn't matter. You can't pull out your phone when you're in handcuffs anyway. And of
Yeah.
course, we couldn't apply pressure on the rooms. The best thing to do was go find help. And
Yeah,
you know, the
okay.
fact that there's two people that just died, well, passed out, should have sent an alert. You would think to PD or to
No,
an
'cause-
ambulance to the.
because they were
Used
zip tied.
to, but because
Yeah,
the
you
zip
can't-
ties,
you-
it
yeah.
doesn't.
Downs don't let you life alert.
Seriously?
Yeah,
Downs
they
while you're
changed-
zip tied don't let you life alert. Yeah.
Yeah, they changed
Oh, wow.
that.
Oh,
I would say sometime last
okay.
year, like in November-ish, because you were having people who would be getting zip tied, and they would press it immediately, even though it's
Oh,
going
wow.
on.
Okay, but so is there ever a point like it doesn't give you the option, or it just makes you wait longer
It just makes you wait 20 minutes.
Mhm. It says
before
you're
you
zip
can press for
tied.
help?
No, before you can respawn.
Oh, so
Like,
there's no
if-
chance for an ambulance to show
No.
up.
No, like if you go and
That's
look
crazy.
if you go and look at the video again, like when I'm in the ambulance after they've uncuffed me, it says you can call for help in negative 1,174 seconds.
Oh fuck. Okay, so
I think your best
there
bet
would
is a
have been no
local seeing you
choice.
in that
Yeah,
case.
yeah. What we did
Then
was the
that's-
only option.
it was the only option because no one would have showed up if that was the case. He would have died right there, which he still ended up doing, but
At least he had a chance.
yeah, that was the
This
only
is-
chance was for us to split up and try to find help, which oh my god, the near miss
mean-
kept happening. Jesus.
I want to say
I think-
Ash definitely could have stayed and checked on both of them because he couldn't run.
No, but I did get to people. Just it was just after Red, so it was better off two chances at seeing someone rather than
Yeah,
just
it
one.
was
Having more
definitely better to
chances
have
in
that
motion
extra
is better than
chance
one
that
person.
somebody
Mhm.
exactly. It was going to give us the most opportunity to run into somebody. But the near misses
wanna-
that kept happening and the amount of times that Red fell. I think she
Yeah.
sustained more injuries from falling from the handcuffs than she did from the stab wounds, I'm honest.
I wanna point out Cece, the doctor that called Arthur's time of death.
Uh-huh. Oh
Is
god.
this,
Yeah.
she was the same doctor that like when Arthur was shot, everyone was yelling at, and she fucking. I don't know if she streams. I don't know what, but she is absolutely amazing.
She is so
The-
amazing.
the-
She was
the-
so worried about Sky.
The pure emotion that she, Arthur being her first DOA.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I want to explore that side of the story. I want to find out what's going through Cece's head.
Yeah.
She's
That's a
probably
good
like,
point.
gosh, here's this family again, ready to yell at me.
She definitely seemed like it for the
She was
first bit.
sick with. She was absolutely sick with worry.
Thanks.
She was so worried.
Because
that
I've
you guys
seen
were
her
gonna
in a
yell at
good
her.
mood, and she was scared and frustrated. But she was scared.
All right. Well,
But did Arthur die at the Yeti? Or did he die in the ambulance or at the hospital?
I think he died at the hospital
Right.
because of the flatlining,
Okay.
right?
Because
Yes.
I was watching it and I was like, okay, did he die at the Yeti? Because in that case he died alone with
No.
Maverick
believe-
choking out.
Because he had no pulse for
No,
such a
'cause
long
there
time,
was,
he was probably
from what I
dead, but they
remember-
resuscitated him for a little bit.
Yeah, and I remember that there was, they kept resuscitating him, so there was, a pulse
Was
there.
there any brain activity at the hospital?
Well, I don't know.
You tell us,
I-
Chief.
I-
You tell us.
You tell us.
Out of character, I have a theory, which has something to do with Augustine's notes and Arthur.
Mhm. Okay,
Um,
I'm almost out of time, so I will answer this question if I can.
No, I mean, it's not a question, it's just I have a theory, and it has to do something with Arthur and Augustine's notes, and it's all on the board. I
It's
have a
all on the
theory.
board, huh?
It's all on the board. But it's just
Tell me
a
what your
theory.
theory is.
Is your theory like something you're saving for RP though, or you just want to throw it out there?
Could be if Elliot ever gets back in the team.
Okay.
So that's why I'm not saying it. But it's
Okay. So then, yeah, save it for RP.
Okay.
For sure.
I'm gonna go. Do I still have access to the board? Has my access been revoked?
I'm not going to take your access away, but technically you are dead, so you
I'm
should.
dead.
Be in it.
It's not like you can do anything either.
It's not like I can do anything.
By the way, the board for chat, if you guys don't know, this is the board that we're referring to for the cases. If you guys haven't seen this before for newcomers, this is our investigation board. And everyone's able to edit this at the same time, so we can all be in here doing stuff and moving things around. And these are some of the cases that we've been working, and we are running thin on cases at the moment, but I'm sure we'll find them. They'll start trickling in again.
Demon never had a
and
board.
Objective number one should be not being
I have a
assassinated.
question.
Yes.
Arthur had the case of open up the board again.
Okay. Uh-huh.
I'm waiting for it to the sleeper agent case.
God.
Bottom.
That
where's
was
that one.
it's below the Awoken.
That never went anywhere. Oh, that's the tattoo. Oh, that's what Ash was talking about. Okay. You're right. The fucking missiles at the fucking... You're right. That never went anywhere because they were gone like within a day or two.
Mm-hmm. But the person involved, the tattoo, it still triggers things.
Yeah, Ash has been
Smiling
looking
and I'm
into
not.
that, but he's been kind of going solo dolo on that in spite of everything, you know.
Well,
Not like on purpose, just but like times where people are around or not.
yeah.
There was a
No.
reason Arthur named the DOJ. But
Oh, and this
with-
fucking helicopter that was chasing us last night. I don't know if we want to
So
open a
many
case on this bullshit, but
I have so many questions on that.
crazy.
Like, what the fuck was that?
What
What
the
happened?
fuck
What was going on? Why the fuck was Terry involved somehow?
Why was Terry?
but so with everything that I have said in mind, again, thank you all. I love you all.
Ah, God
Oh.
damn it, Marky. I hate you.
Ugh.
But I love you. But I hate you.
Me too.
You are an incredible storyteller, and I'm so glad I
Yeah,
blew
no,
up my
for
bike
reals.
that day.
It wasn't even your bike. It was a car that you just left by Prudence's house smoking. I checked that.
no,
I ran
that
the
was
bike.
when we met, but I'm talking about when we actually started like getting to know each other as characters.
Like
Because
wink,
you were
wink,
just
hint,
a background.
hint.
You were just like okay, hey, you were just like a background guy before then.
Yeah, I was a background guy that knew everything about you already.
Yeah. Okay, fine. I'll rephrase. I'm so glad I changed my eye color on a whim because I wanted to make the demon lore a little cooler. Look at that fucking goddess.
I'm very, very thankful that Frances introduced me to Arthur. I'm very thankful for her for that.
I'm so
we
glad
are so happy to have you
Jesse-
aboard,
yeah,
Jesse. You are
so
a
glad you got
crack up.
introduced so quickly. Because both
You
Marky
are a
and I
fucking
were like, "Oh, you're investigating the org? You're gonna beat Arthur."
Yeah, and props to you too, because you are on top of like
go.
gathering intel.
Bye.
All right,
Bye.
bye. Bye. You are on
Love
top
you all.
of gathering
Love
intel
you.
and just sitting there being a fly on the wall. It's so perfect for you.
Which
That's
is
good shit.
also, like, first of all, do you even sleep?
That's what I'm wondering. That's
Do
what I'm fucking.
Do you? Do you? Max, do you sleep?
It was 5 a.m. and I
You
woke
talk
up
about
around,
taking
like,
4-hour naps and then coming back.
Yeah, but then I'm back and I'm taking like a nap again. So like I split my sleeping schedule.
You crazy ass motherfucker.
Yeah, but it's the RP. It's giving.
It's good. I get it though. I get it when you get like really invested and then just kind of, hey, I called out of work on Monday because I couldn't sleep. It's okay. I get it.
No, like
Okay.
with Meredith, that's why she people watches at the hotel a lot because like
It's smart.
I could
people
never
just
do that.
people just come up to her and tell her things that they shouldn't be telling her. And I'm like,
That's
okay,
good. That's what you want. That's the best kind of PI work. It really is. That's well, and even Ash was saying it last night about doing the taxi driving for the same thing.
Oh yeah, I love doing that.
Gathering information that people just start spewing and have no idea who this guy is, have no clue he's a PI. All right. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say it's been real fun with the investigating stuff with you guys. Like I've never done that kind of stuff before, so it's nice to actually get to be involved in stuff like this.
Yeah, it's been fun for all of us, I think. So this kind of accidentally happened too. Like I don't think any of us like when Red met Arthur or anything like that said, hey, let's start an investigation team, right? It literally started, where we are today started because of Vanderbilt. So Boxy, shout out to you because this, I'm dead serious. It was a zombie apocalypse. Let's let me move this. If you're in my stream seeing this, you can look. It started with a zombie apocalypse, right? And I think it was the first one. It was the first one. And none of our characters had met yet. No one had met each other yet. Red was working at the boathouse under Penny and Todd Langerhans, or however you say that name. And the zombie apocalypse happened, and she was also what do you call that? A secretary or whatever for a guy by the name of, what was that movie star guy? What was his name?
A movie star.
The Hollywood guy. Do you remember the Hollywood guy? Shit. He was like, guys. Anyways, so he's a big Hollywood producer. I can't remember the guy's name, but he was a big Hollywood producer, and he was doing things in the city like, are you smarter than a police officer, and like game shows.
Yeah.
What was that guy's name? I can't remember. Anyways, so she was working as kind of like his secretary, I guess, helping him schedule events and shit. And then this outbreak happened, and I guess he ended up going to Humane Labs with this group of people saying that, oh, it's probably from Humane, it's ground zero, let's go look. And then when they stumbled in there, and like when they went in there, they stumbled upon all these ciphered, encrypted, coded messages all over the lab. And I think it was part of the Adventurers Guild. No, not Bob Saget, but it was a Bob. I think it was Bob something. And then he came back and he told Red about it. And he said some of them are actually translating, like they're actually breaking the code and finding real stuff in these. They're not just random, cat walked across your keyboard shit. Like it was real coded messages. And that intrigued Red. And so she started sneaking into Humane. She started getting pictures, somehow stumbled upon, that's what it was. So Bob, or whatever his name is, she ended up getting hooked up with the Adventurers Guild, which was like Shay, which is Arthur's son, and a whole bunch of other people. And that's how she met Arthur. And so they started working together as a group to start decoding these messages. And at the same time, the Adventurers Guild was taking it a little not as serious. It was more of a jokey thing with them. And so Arthur and Red kind of went off on their own and said, let's treat this like a serious investigation. And so they just started looking into it. And then we just started gathering information. And that's how we found out who Jerry was, this whole Oswald Enterprises and Raccoon Tech and all this stuff that we found in his trailer. And it just started spinning off into this massive investigation. And we had so much fun doing this And then at one point we were investigating Prudence because we thought Prudence might have been Vanderbilt at one point.
Holy shit.
And then obviously she's not. But we went on a huge tangent to the point that we started actually getting noticed in both like our chats and in our streams and stuff like that for the amount of work that we were putting into this. And I'm like the dots that we were connecting, and it felt like a movie. It felt like a TV show. And then at that point we're like, we got to keep doing this. This is so much fucking fun. And then Prudence joined and came aboard. And then I think that's when Ash joined, and we've just grown since. And it's just so cool at how naturally this all evolved into what it is today. And it all started with Vanderbilt.
Actually,
Like-
the video I posted in the channel, the one under Roxy, that's actually what started all of it. The fact that
You want me to show it?
yeah, feel free.
So this is the one that started it all. Is this
Literally
one
made
that
it
is this one that we
2
had
years
on a board for the
No.
investigation?
I don't think you did. I think this was
So-
for your investigation, so you never even saw this one.
I've never seen this. Oh shit! Let me pause the
Unless
music
I
then.
sent it to you.
We'll see. I'll know if I recognize it. But this is some of the stuff that we were finding. We were finding these messages on like the computer screens that had basically like YouTube links to these videos for the security feed, and that was part of the investigation's evidence that we were finding. Let's see what this is. I did see this one.
I'm not putting this in the description. You're just gonna have to go find Mama's VOD. I'm the side character here.
Oh wait. No, yeah, I think I did. I think we did see that one. We did. And I think that was Cassandra's escape, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what started it all, huh?
Mm-hmm. Because
That's crazy. That's crazy.
I'd made the Miranda storyline for a friend. What was it? June, end of June, beginning of July. And then I'd taken a break on Miranda until I want to say a little bit in August, and then took another one until October.
Mm-hmm.
And October's really when things picked up.
It is. That is exactly when it picked up. It was so much fun. Okay, so now that we've spent over an hour, almost an hour and a half talking about Arthur's death. Now let's see if we can go behind some of the other RP that's been happening. But do we want to keep it on this backtracking trend and just keep going backwards? I think that might be the best. Unless you guys have a different idea. Does anyone else have anything else that they wanted to share? Because we could just keep going backwards. Yeah, just keep going backwards. Okay, so then I don't even know where to start. So let's see. Before Arthur died, oh God, Aphrodite. That's what was going on. That's what was happening. It was Aphrodite. It was the org. It was Prudence possibly being killed by her. Trying to remember everything that was happening.
Miranda
And
dying.
Miranda dying. So Vanderbilt died. But I don't think we talked about it in the podcast the last time, right?
No, I was I think busy.
And let's see. We left off in the last podcast, but it's kind of hard without Marky. Marky, you're gone, right? You're not here?
He's gone. Sometimes he
He's
just
showing
leaves
in
his shit.
He just
He just left his shit.
I tried
Let me
to
just
DM him.
kick
Ain't nothing there.
Hold on. Let
just
me
disconnect him. I do it all the time.
Yeah, I'm gonna kick him. Disconnect. There we go. That's better. You know what though? So let's see. No thoughts behind the eyes. Yeah. Let's just. Who else wanted to talk about like what's been some big points of stuff that's been happening?
So,
Oh,
something.
Ash.
Everything.
Ash taking over. That's another big thing too. We can talk about.
Yeah, there's been a
Sorry,
lot of
Malik.
What were
there's
you
been a
gonna
lot
say,
of
Max? I'm so
managing.
sorry.
Yes, sorry, go ahead, Max.
But it's well, something that I will like say in a second. But I love Ash taking over. Like Ash is like kind of like Arthur's brother in a way. Like they're friends, they're best friends, they're brothers. They would die for each other. Arthur is now gone. Ash is taking over. It's like this is supposed to happen.
Yeah,
that
there
makes
is this sense of how would you say it? I guess watching out for Elliot like a nephew. Definitely, I do see that there.
Well, didn't they start calling you? Yeah, he started calling you Uncle Ash.
Not around Ash. I don't think Ash ever heard
Not
that.
around Ash.
Oh, he's
no.
called it in front of Red. He's called you
Yeah.
Uncle Ash.
That's funny.
So maybe you should start laying into that a little heavier there, Max.
Yeah, but Elliot is very careful with Ash. He's very careful. Like, props to Emmy. Emmy has made me cry with her voice acting because, like, the emotions Emmy is doing, it's like everything Elliot's feeling, but Elliot has to pretend he's okay, just so to prove the team that he's still okay to be in the team.
But
So he's
that's
like,
not what's
"Yeah, I'm fine."
preventing. That's not what's
No,
preventing
no,
him from
totally
being
not.
on the team.
But like, no, but like in Elliot's mind, like I have to be okay. Like I can do it. Like I can fuck up. Like Stefan needs to go fucking away. I need to get the chip out. I need to do this, and this. Like I have to be normal as fuck. And it's like, I can't do anything weird. So like calling Ash his uncle is like
That's not gonna
that would
get
be
you
weird.
kicked. No,
No,
it's
but like in Elliot's eyes, it's like, no, I can't do that. Like that's weird. It's like, I just need to be normal. Just normal. Just be normal. Just be you. Just be normal.
I think it might be just that for some people, Ash might come off as a hard ass. Is what you're getting at, or no?
Oh well, he definitely does.
No,
Yes.
I mean, not. I like. If you really get to know her, she's like a sweetie pie.
You know what though? It's kind of funny. Ash, maybe yes, he does have that hard ass attitude, but he's also got this extremely what do you call it? Not well, yes, protective, but I'm trying to find the right word. It is like
Paternal?
it's something like that.
Like he's fatherly?
Yes, but so like for example, when Red was in the hospital, for like what was it, almost a week? I don't remember exactly how long it was. Literally, Ash was the one by her side almost 24/7, no matter what. Which should have been Arthur, but it wasn't. It was Ash.
That was by design for the character too.
So this very nurturing, that's the word I'm trying to find. Nurturing personality that he doesn't show off a whole lot. And you know, putting it, you can tell like when it starts to seep through, like he's done it with Elliot, he's done it with Red.
Yeah.
There was someone else just recent that I noticed it being I noticed it happening again with
maybe Sky, or you think there's someone else?
No, I think that was more because he was trying to like we were working together to try to save Sky.
Yeah, I'm trying to
that
think.
was more of a, but there was someone else that had just recently, like he just stepped in and that nurturing personality just took over. And I can't remember, I can't pinpoint it, but it was recent. But yeah, so he does have this hard ass vibe about him, but yet at the same time, like Ash would make a really great dad in general. Like that would be one of those kind of dads that you be at his kid's baseball game every game, and you know what I'm saying? Like that's the vibe that Ash gives off.
Was it
Yeah,
Meredith?
I can say anything, obviously, but there's a lot of levels to Ash that are worked on, and it seems you guys are picking up on a few things. But
we're definitely picking up on it, and I love layered characters. Just saying, but yes.
With Ash, it's like if you do something you shouldn't have, Ash tells you, "Hey, you should not have done this." Not because like he dislikes you, but because it's just not good for you.
You know, though,
Yeah.
that's a great point you just made, because he does have that put your foot down attitude
Yeah,
with people too.
but it's like not
Like,
because he doesn't like you, but because it's the best thing for you to do. Simply,
Yeah,
it's just yeah.
yeah,
it's like every time he
like the
calls me, it's like, okay, what did she do wrong?
Wait, what? Ash does that?
Yeah, like that's the vibe he gives Meredith. Like every time.
no, I think I think Meredith is paranoid. I think she thinks that everyone's about to say something like that.
Yeah, I don't think Ash
I
does
don't
that
know.
to Meredith too much. He does definitely do that with a few people, but not her.
So okay, then taking that
Oh,
that
were you
approach,
thinking James?
No, because every time. Was it did
Yeah,
James?
because you were saying that he was kind of doing that to someone. I was wondering if you're thinking it was James while he was mourning.
No, I don't remember, because James is other than that one conversation up in Polito. I don't think I've seen you around him.
Oh yeah, you're right. It's been phone calls. You're right.
Mm-hmm. I don't remember. I really don't. But yeah, I definitely noticed that approach with the character, and then again, the especially like when we were confronting Arthur at the jetty, when he told us that he just called Boxy, or I'm sorry, that he just called Roxy. My bad. Called Roxy down there to have that face to face, and the stance that he took against, well, all of us, not just Ash, but it's not often that you hear Ash talk like that.
No,
Like,
and that's I try to limit that to like maybe a few times a month, just because that's something that he'd have to be really pushed to get to, you know. So he did kind of
Right.
snap a bit when he heard that,
and rightfully so, because we all knew what was about to happen, and we even haven't got a chance to hear any of Vision's side of all of that. He hasn't gotten a chance to talk. Go for it. Let you take the floor for a hot minute.
Hi, Vision.
Oh man. Maverick was just recently reintroduced with Arthur and subsequently everyone else. But they went back a while, and for Maverick, at least in his perspective, he was always kind of the big brother to Arthur back then. Grabbing him by the collar and getting him out of the harm's way, because even back then Arthur Talon found a way to get him shit involved and try to be the savior.
So fucking like that.
Seems to be a trend.
Yeah.
Seems to be
Always
a trend.
had the savior complex, and and it wasn't just him at the time. There's a few others that he kind of had to, in a sense, be responsible for. So seeing that had not changed his certain level of naivety, consuming him was definitely extremely frustrating to Maverick. Not so much in a degree that it was disdainful to Arthur, but just more disappointment than anything. It was funny that the last words that he ever told to Arthur is, "This is fucking stupid."
Wait, really? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
before the whole thing went down.
Yeah, he's like,
What were
"This
the
was
last-
a terrible idea."
Yeah. I think the last words that Red said to Arthur were, actually, the last words she said was her asking him, "Do you want me to get Jen down here?" And he said, "Yes, but tell her to just stay nearby." And that's when Red sent the text message to Jen with the location. And then as soon as she put her phone down, the guns came out.
And that was
Yep.
so good of you to do. The only bad thing on Jen's part is she was busy.
Because then Jen was able to use it to corner Red. Yeah. No meta on that, Boxy. No meta on that. Please. But yeah, that was Red's last words to Arthur, was trying to figure out a way to save their lives. And still didn't work. Fuck. But anyways, keep going.
Yeah, I mean, especially after the entire sequence of events at the jetty, Maverick is a extremely cutthroat type of guy.
Literally.
Get that vibe.
Yeah,
we
I
get
think
that
Ash has
vibe.
referred to him as an absolutist.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
definitely
an
got that vibe.
absolutist. Yeah, would definitely be a fitting term for him. He has a very strict moral compass, and if it strays from that moral, he is going to want to exterminate it.
Yeah.
Hence some of the conversations that Ash and Maverick had had of what separates them from the things that they hunt. You know?
Hmm.
Like where is that line of where do we consider humanity to be applicable is a
Yeah.
question that he always kind of has running in the back of his mind. And I think this recent events that happened to him, or to everyone really, is really starting to make that show a little bit more. Because since
Yeah.
moving from his hometown of Liberty City to San Andreas, he tried to walk the straight and narrow the best he could.
Mm-hmm.
And we all know that always doesn't go the best way. So
No.
he's very much on that fine line of, you know what? I get you guys have your morals and you want to be right by Arthur, but this isn't right.
Of course. Well, and so to what you just said of what separates us from the ones that we investigate, it's kind of the same approach or sentiment that Red's been trying to say of, if we start doing things, the way that we could, then we're no more than a nosy gang rather than a private investigations team, right?
Yeah,
because
that
then
line
we're going to
really
take
struck home with Ash. Yeah.
Yeah, because then then there's nothing that separates us from, like he just said, the people we investigate, the cases that we take. There's nothing that's going to separate us from that. And then we wouldn't be taken seriously. And it's difficult with especially so, and I'm sure it's not just Red. I think and we've said this before. Every person brings so much to the table on this team of where they came from, their history, and their talents in how they handle the investigations and how they come up with the connections that they make and the evidence that they find. Like everyone's got that like perfect contribution to solve like some of these cases. And like with Ash and now Mav possibly joining the team with the background on not just like paranormal but straight up what do you call it,
Demonology.
yeah, there you go, basically. That gives the door, that opens the door for those types of investigations, which seem to be happening a lot in the center right now. That we have the ability for people with that kind of experience to take on those cases. We've got Arthur that had all the connections. We had Prudence with her no bullshit, down to earth vibe that would she would gosh, I miss having her on the team because she really would I don't know how she did it, but she would just make connections that would just fly over everyone else's head because she was just so literal and down to earth, and like, does that make sense? No, it doesn't. Here's what does, and then, like Red's background of being somewhat of a serial killer kind of person, and being, sneaky and hiding in bushes and finding those like little crevices in the city to hide in and things like that, brings that kind of mindset to like, okay, where would this person go now? And what would they possibly be thinking? And what might their next move be? But, only certain types of people, like the real shitty ones, I guess. But you points to, I guess, to all of us, kudos to all of us for this team coming together so almost perfectly with being able to handle anything thrown at us. You know what I'm saying?
It's
So,
fucking
I don't know,
incredible
just
seeing what you
pointing that out.
guys are capable of. It is so cool.
Right, exactly.
I think
And then,
something. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I think that's something that you mentioned was really pivotal, I guess, for Ash to hear was like if he were just to go back, I guess even with this group and do crime, it's like why start a new life in general? Why not just stay into where he was at as Nick, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it just makes everything kind of pointless when he heard that. So yeah, that was really interesting to hear.
Until the day that it makes sense, I think, for the characters to move on from this. Like let's say all the investigations really do dry up, let's say, or we're shut down, or whatever the case may be. I don't want to, me, IRL, don't want to do anything that's going to jeopardize the ability to continue with that RP right now, because it's so much fun. First of all, it's so unique. It's not something a whole lot of people are doing seriously in the server outside of PD, right?
For more like than a week, yeah.
Yeah, you got your jokesters out there, and then you've got your PD, and that there's really no one in the middle like the way that we've been doing it. And the information that we get to find, the juicy stories that we get to find out about, and it just always gives us something to do. You know, even if you're doing it by yourself, there's still a purpose, there's still a mission, there's still an agenda, a to-do list of stuff that you got to get taken care of. And it feels like there's just non-stop RP. And I've said this so many times before, and I'll keep saying it, is I'd rather have too much RP than not enough. But it definitely feels like too much sometimes. It definitely does. But it's great because, you know, and it's not just us having a good time. Like if you're a streamer, and I'm sure that some of the streamers in here can say that their viewers have been enjoying it too. You know, the viewers have been getting sucked in, especially what is this motherfucker, if he's even in the chat right now, Jamie, that's like completely obsessed and making
I love Jamie.
Song after song after song.
Making song after song dedicated to these characters. And
man, if you were able to set your custom ringtones in your phone, I'd be going,
like I
songs.
think Jamie is probably the #1 fan of this storyline right now, just with what he's done with all the songs that he's written, and that he's contributed with like lore ideas and stuff like that. Like, and he's gone back and rewatched. I don't know, Jamie, are you in the chat right now? Because he's talked. I think he said that he has gone back to and caught up at the point of that. It's what got you interested. Where are you? You said you backtracked on the storyline all the way back to where? Where did you leave off now? Like, he's gone back on my VODs to like 2 months ago. He's caught up on the storyline to like all the way back then, and he's still going. like he's the #1 fan right now of this group. He's so obsessed. It's so great. But the point is that we've got viewers that are enjoying the content too. So it's not just fun RP for us to be involved in.
Yeah, speaking
is
of
where
Jamie,
you have Jen in the spider lair. Where I have Jen in the spider lair.
I think I've seen a clip of that.
What do you mean?
Some underground
Are you talking about the
altar.
compound? Oh, the altar? The compound? He must be. So you must be talking about Aftermath days then, not current purple days. What episode is that? Tell me so I can pull that up, because I don't think I've ever showed you guys the lair. We could go through that real quick. But anyways, that lair was, you know how much money I paid for that thing too, to have that made. But anyways, keep going. I don't know what we were talking about just now.
Oh, I was just saying that speaking on Jamie, we haven't touched on the whole exorcism yet.
Yes.
I'm in a whole other can of worms.
Hi, Sky. Tell me which episode that is, Jamie. We'll pull that up in a little bit. But all right, go for it.
Oh my god. I just
like the amount of people trying to save your ass. I swear.
I was genuinely
Arthur 2.0
taken aback and honored by how much you guys honored my story. Like I was just this little, I was just this little twink that showed up with a half blown up car, which is very normal for me. And then all of a sudden, this I don't even know where to begin.
The man of your dreams.
Like, and to say something that I was thinking about earlier, where you guys were talking about the roles you bring to each other, is I want
Yeah.
Sky to have a better role that isn't just
You will.
the guy who
You will.
No, I'm sure. I just have no idea what the fuck he would bring.
It would put him in a unique position, just like how, I mean, I guess not to steal it, but more be inspired is kind of how James Kennedy plays.
Yeah.
That's super interesting on how he does that.
I felt like while you guys were talking about that, how there is very typically a hard line between serious and goofy players. I feel like I'm in between that. So
You are,
I'm like
definitely,
I'm an ear into the goofy shit.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
there is that for sure.
But
Like-
you also know
You need
when
to
your
watch your
goofy
back?
shit,
Okay.
like how do you call like what you know when a serious scene
When
is
to lock
playing, you're
in.
being serious too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And because I
There's a
love
few
serious
characters
shit.
that are like that hop in between back and forth, that goofy and serious.
So with that, when Sky started out, Aishma didn't have a name. Aishma didn't have a goal. I didn't know what to do with it. Sky didn't know it was real. I didn't know if it was real because of the Scooby-Doo rule. I was just going to play it by ear and see what happened. He had no symptoms. He had the black eye with the eye patch. And it was goofy at first. Like that wizard, God Viper Josh Moonchase, he made Sky like an apprentice after that first 99.9% exorcism. And on a whim, I made Sky get worse at the lighthouse. The same day that you Moonchase, yeah. The same day that I met you guys, just complete like within a 10-minute span, and then all of a sudden everything changed. It was serious, and I was being taken seriously and honored and cared about and worried about, and causing fucking insane problems. And I would just call here and there to cause a problem. Like what the thing that I would tell people is when I'm bored, I walk up to someone to become their problem. That's how I met Hopper. That's how I met Casper. That's how I met Lyra. Noah.
That's how you met Red.
Yeah, I walked up and I turned into a fucking problem.
I was taking a jab at you being a problem.
So now that my problem causing days are over, I don't know what Sky's gonna do next. Like the part I just have so many thoughts. I'm sorry, I'm gonna be everywhere about it. But I didn't want Aishma to end without showing the damage he's capable of causing. I didn't want to. It was a Chekhov's gun, and I had to respect it.
And you know what? That's another thing I'll point out, and it's just the caliber of this group that we have all seemed to stumble upon each other finally. Took me, when I first came to Purple, I was so lost. Because I had just come from a city that had very serious storyline RP. And
I'm thinking about it, Jamie. I'm thinking about it.
Yeah. What are you thinking about? Wreck the home on another server. Asshole.
I'm kidding.
So anyways, I just come from a server that had very serious storyline RP. And when I came to Purple, and I didn't just switch either, like the storyline actually, like I did a whole outro from the other city and with an intro to the new city kind of thing. And when I first came here, I was so lost for like a month and a half, I would say, because I couldn't find people. I mean, I found people that were great RPers, don't get me wrong, but it was goofy and it was silly and it was chaos. And my character was getting arrested for bullshit. Like, I think she got arrested for a parking ticket. She got arrested because she shot a local that tried to shoot her. Like, bullshit, right? And I was almost like, what the fuck am I doing here? This is not working for me. And then that's when everything started with the zombie apocalypse and finding this caliber of people that do appreciate RP story, like heavy storyline RP, I should say, that appreciate lore. I mean, we all appreciate lore here, for sure. I guess it's just depending on how you drop the lore.
Yeah.
Jab it at Arthur. And because sometimes they're just a little in your face about it. But the heavy storyline RP and respecting each other's RP, I think that's the big one too, is respecting each other's RP and not scoffing at it and not, ignoring it or brushing it aside and like actually taking an interest into each other's RP. I love your lore. I love my lore, he says. Of course, you love your lore. I appreciate how much you love your lore. It's just you're so open about it. You will tell everyone if you can.
Mhm.
You will just walk up to a complete stranger. I'm a time traveler.
He doesn't do
You know what I
that,
mean?
but he would.
It's
He would if he was.
fucking okay. All right, a couple drinks and then he does that. How's that?
See?
Unless your name is Maverick.
Yeah, unless your name
Oh
is
my
Maverick,
god,
I
when he
guess, dude.
fucking during the Daisy shit, when he was absolutely piss
Hold up,
drunk.
though. I got it. That last night was fucking hilarious.
my
How
God,
we
it
were
was.
just all talking like almost OOC, but not because we were still sticking to it. But we're like bashing each other indirectly.
Oh my god, I have to watch
It
this
was
VOD
great.
now. I have to... No, but
It
the
was
Daisy
a late
shit.
night RP for me. That's
It
what was
was
making me do
the-
that.
It was the zombie server that we jumped in. It was like the last, I don't know, hour.
Oh, I saw it then. I saw
and
it. I
it
saw
was just funny. I was busting a gut. I couldn't control myself. It was too funny the way that happened. But yes, but the respecting of each other's storyline and the RP that's introduced and taking it seriously, and that's we were straight up bashing each other. That's I guess one thing I really am gonna miss about Arthur, his character, because he was probably the social butterfly when it came to that. Was finding people
Mhm.
that had this storyline to start telling, and he would just attract them to us. And I think we can still get that. I don't think we're that much of introverts to not be able to find new people and start making connections like that and bringing new
mean,
people into the RP with us.
I got fucking Father Eli in my pocket already.
Huh?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. We'll talk about
Are you
that
talking about
after.
Are you talking about the
Mhm.
pastor?
No,
God.
we're talking about different
No, not that
people,
guy.
right?
Not the hot
Oh,
funny
God.
one with that you interviewed.
No,
a different one.
no. The dude who Ash tried to meet with that day when you guys went up, but he just never showed
The
up.
one that says that Ash has a demon or is a demon or something like that?
Sky, yeah.
Sky.
Or, God damn it. Yes, I meant Sky.
Every time, man. Without fail.
You know what? It's like if you know those people that like have too many kids or too many brothers and sisters, and
Yeah.
they just start
Oh
naming
my
down
god,
the
that was
list
my
before
fucking
they get
family.
to the right one.
Yeah.
You there. Yeah, that one. There we
That
go.
one. That's what it's starting to feel like in here. So I hope that we can continue. I think we will. I think we'll be fine because I think our group is solid enough now that we're going to attract those people to us rather than us have to go find them.
Mm,
But I
for
will
sure.
miss that about Arthur is because he did go out there and in a sense recruit RP.
That is
If that
something
makes sense.
that I've been meaning to bring up actually.
Okay.
I almost said Yuri. That's heartbreaking. The player who played Yuri, who is that Ezra and Bebop want to get to know you guys, and that's why Sky invited you guys to that party. Because yes, they are extremely goofy, but like
I think
they
they've
literally
already made an
character.
impression.
I know.
They've already made an impression.
Oh, I know.
on the group,
I know.
and it's not the
But like
best.
they sat Sky
So-
down in character and said, "We are capable of being serious. Let us get to know your friends." And I'm like, "Good luck."
They are gonna have to prove it because
Good
the
luck.
last what was it that was going on that
I
we
don't
were
even
we were
know.
like we just got to
Everything
get out of here.
happens.
Zombie server.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
zombies.
right. Yeah.
Oh, it was okay. So
Yeah.
it has nothing to do with
That wound up
Unscripted.
being a
No,
big
no
old
one's cities.
misunderstanding.
We don't know them pretty much.
Oh, my bad. Okay, I got to make sure to keep that separate.
Mhm, mhm.
Um,
They were waiting to be included,
s-
and that's why they were acting out.
got it. Okay, my bad. So I mean, yes, if that's the we'll definitely find a way not to force RP, but to naturally let it
Mhm.
seep
I was
in
I was
somehow,
hoping
right?
the
Yeah.
beach
Yeah.
party with 1,000 strippers would be it, but I don't even know if that one's gonna happen
What?
anymore.
What?
Oh, you
Wait,
know,
what?
Aspen. Oh, you
What'd you
know,
say about strippers?
Aspen wanted to throw a beach party in honor of Arthur, which is what Sky invited you guys to, and Aspen was like, he would be pissed if we didn't invite so many strippers. Arthur would be
Actually?
pissed.
Arthur,
I think okay, that's where we heard about it. It was so that is in Unscripted that we did hear about it. So
Mhm.
Ash told us about the beach party,
Mhm.
and he told us who
Yes.
was running it.
Yes.
And he told us who was going to be there.
I don't know who's.
And that's when we
I don't
said,
know
nah.
I
Well,
don't know
not
if
the
it's
whole
still
team.
gonna happen,
They're-
but maybe.
The team will show up, but yeah, not everyone.
Oh, so you didn't do it yet?
Not yet. No.
Oh, I thought they did it that night that he was talking about it.
No,
Okay,
no,
got
no.
you.
Still was there. That's an assumption.
I was warning
Yeah,
Ash
okay.
ahead of time to prep you guys for the
Got
type
it.
of people that would be there.
Okay. Well, I mean, we'll give it a shot, maybe. We'll
I don't know.
talk
I
about
don't
it in
know.
RP.
We'll figure it out.
We'll talk
We'll
about
figure
it in
something
RP.
out.
We'll figure it out. Oh my god.
I think the beach party's a
where
terrible
were we
idea
talking?
for that.
What were we? What were we?
The exorcism. That's what we're talking about.
The exorcism.
Oh yeah,
yes,
you know that
go.
topic I
Let's
keep
talk about
skirting
it.
around because I'm scared of it.
Yeah. I was
When-
so mad about the damn Oni mask.
I know,
Oh,
I
no.
know. I saw you
So
buy it, and
mad
I was
about
like, "Oh, the wrench I have is going to obliterate this. She's gonna be so mad."
$5,000 on this damn Oni mask.
There will be use for
Wait,
that
what?
mask. I can guarantee it.
Never gonna get that money back.
Sorry, I
I'm
just
never
got jump
gonna get
scared
that
by my
money
fucking
back.
roommate.
And it's possessed with a demon already too.
You didn't
so
get a
there goes
warranty on
that.
it.
No. No.
Wait, what
I'm
about
just gonna
Oni
give it.
masks?
I'm just gonna give it to James and say, "Have fun."
God.
The Oni
Yeah.
mask storyline.
Huh?
I think
Oh
that's a
no,
good one.
Abaxi asked, "What about Oni mask?" I was letting her know that there's an Oni mask storyline currently happening.
Mhm.
Oh,
Oh,
that's ironic.
yes.
For a while.
Ironic.
Probably
Uh-oh.
connected to
Hold
whatever
on.
you're thinking about.
Uh-oh.
Hold on.
Back
What's
up.
ironic about it, Boxy?
I'm pretty sure the night that Arthur died, the other four were wearing Oni masks that I
No, yeah, he knows
had
that.
one of Roxy's
But are they
friends-
possessed or just regular?
No, they're just regular Oni masks. But
Oh, okay.
the fact he got also taken
There's
out
an in
by
there,
4
though.
people wearing Oni masks.
That's kind of crazy. I didn't connect the dot on that. I honestly, there was so much happening. I don't know how much I paid attention to. I actually originally called the car black. When
Oh,
I thought that was on
I said
purpose.
the car that was
To
there.
like cover traces and not get killed. I thought that was
Initially,
on
after the fact, I thought about it and I was like, okay, that was smart. But when my brain went to go think back, I actually thought the car was black.
There was so much going on.
There was so much going on. But then I thought about it after the fact, after I said that, I'm like, wait, no, the car was white. But it's okay. We're going to keep it. We're going to just say it's black. But my mind was not like the pistons weren't all firing at the same time.
yeah.
Go ahead.
So that exorcism.
What's up, Candace?
Golden, right? You're going on.
Anything's fine. Oh, I thought you were asking how to refer to me.
No, it's you. You got
no,
the floor,
yeah,
bro. This is your
I
exorcism.
just no, I get that. No, I misunderstand. I just don't. I'm still in shock that it even happened the way that it did.
The fact that it worked too. That's the crazy thing. Because I thought, you did have a couple of wrenches, but the fact that it did end up working at the end of the day, right?
This is as much as I will say. It worked because of the wrench.
Yeah, it did. It did. That's a very true fact.
There's a lot of things I cannot say about it yet because
Yeah, don't if it's too meta.
because it literally just can't. But like, what do I even say about it?
We can say everything
Well-
leading up to it and everything.
Yeah.
So
When did
Yeah,
you
go
guys
ahead.
even like get latched on to deal with it? Like, because I was just a guy. I just felt like I was just a guy.
So I think Ash took the lead on it for the most part, right?
yeah, I mean, obviously, anything that happens supernatural, he's gonna open up a case on it. So right when
And I
he,
think it was kind of at the request of Arthur because Arthur was wanting him to be saved.
even
Am I
before
correct?
then, Ash had a case on it. It all started
Okay.
with Ash knowing Hopper and checking on Hopper, not knowing who Sky was standing there. And my occupation randomly came up, and I believe Sky made a face or something like that. And that's right when he opened up the case.
Yeah, because I had met you twice before. Just
Gotcha.
like in the hospital, saying sus shit because you said you were a ghost hunter, supernatural investigator, and I was like, I
Yeah.
want to get your attention on this, so I'm gonna be sus about it. So
Yeah,
and then I
and that's when
met
the case
you.
opened up.
And I met you at the lighthouse again, properly. Didn't quite realize it was you. And then once I realized in character that it was, I pointed it out to Ash that Sky looked different. And that is the eye color change.
Yeah.
Right.
Which
Can we pause here
Mhm.
for 1 second?
yeah.
Yeah.
I just remembered something that I've been dying to ask Ash out of character, and I do not want to forget. When you had that ghost that kept opening and closing your door, getting in the car with you, was that you?
The ending was me, but you weren't there. The beginning was not.
So it
I
was
witnessed
happening
that shit
at,
too.
Yeah, so that
so
was actually happening at first then.
Yeah, I just played along with it up until the point where Ash left with Elsa, but you weren't. Red wasn't there for any of that. That beginning part is confused the fuck out of me too, and I thought it was maybe one of you. So then once it stopped midway through, I was like, "Fuck it, I guess I'll just do this for the rest of the day."
Yeah, because I think by the time, yeah, I think it was, it I guess had been happening for so long throughout that day that I think Ash came to pick up Red at Humane in his ghost car.
Yeah,
and
that part was me. That one was me.
Okay, and then she got in, and he's like, "Oh, 1 second, I gotta wait for my friend." And then the door opened and closed, and she's like, "What was that about?"
Oh, so
Yeah,
was it
yeah.
real for Sky when that happened in front of him, or?
I think it was real. That it's weird. It happened for so fucking long, and when it stopped, I was kind of shocked because I was like, okay, but canonly, it left with Grandpa Joe because Grandpa Joe was scared of it. So what I did is I had it leave when he left, so I followed him.
So evil. Yeah, that was I think maybe it was a dev fucking with you at first, huh?
Maybe
Like one of
I
the
thought it
devs.
was Arthur, or I don't know.
Could have
It
been.
maybe.
Anyways, back to what you were saying, Golden. I'm sorry.
Right. I guess to put a timeline to it. I color changed at the lighthouse, got Ash's attention, and then Arthur clocked it first because he's Arthur. Because he can't help
he's
the drama.
Arthur. You can't. He's got to do it.
He started checking Sky's, like, the back of Sky's head for anything that might have been, like, I forget the exact details, but, like, Humane Lab shit. Umbervale shit. Whatever all that was, I never truly understood.
Yes,
and that is
Umbervale,
why we checked Sky's blood. And I was reeling that whole day because that one little decision led to like 2 hours of pure serious roleplay and of like trying to figure out what the hell's with this guy, like being added to the family, meeting Emmy, meeting all these like Power Ranger people, getting lost in Humane Labs, and then getting told to run out. And then
run out by who?
By you were AFK at the time. By Ash, who was on walkie with Arthur because somebody was coming in.
Oh, right. And Red, yeah, that's when Red escaped out the back. Okay, now I remember.
And
we were checking your blood, trying to figure out what the fuck is wrong with your blood.
There was like a small percentage of it that seemed inhuman and inconclusive, and that was odd. But there was no chemicals. It was purely supernatural, so Ash took it over from there, I guess. And then for the next few days or week or so, I don't really even know anymore, Sky would occasionally go back to the lighthouse, and every time he did, his eyes would turn black. Like both of them. And then from distance and time, they'd go back to normal. And then he just kept getting a little bit worse, a little bit angrier, a little bit unable to control his violence. Like if a local would act out towards Hopper, he would immediately escalate, take out a machete, and fucking kill the guy. Like he would not hesitate. Which, yes, it's a local, but I can't really do that to a person easily without going to jail and losing my job.
I will say 100%. It is a little bit more difficult to be a bad guy in this city than I'm used to.
It's pretty hard. I'll tell you what.
A little bit harder than I'm used to. So I get
I'm still TACMed.
Sometimes the locals are the only things that you can use.
So I was using the locals definitely to express that Sky was getting worse gradually. And eventually it started that he was emotionally getting worse. That his eyes would change when he was too angry or too involved, too heated, I guess. He had a conversation with some other demon guys. He was debating on whether he was debating on whether he was going to submit to it because it felt the anger felt good. And then eventually his eyes just never returned back to normal, and it scared him. And he wanted to start hurting people he cared about because they made him angry, and it scared him. And then he blew up his bike. And then he blew up his bike and turned into a home wrecker.
Yeah, go ahead, Max.
Why did your eyes get darker at the lighthouse. Was there any reason behind that?
That was the coolest motherfucking coincidence in the world.
Okay,
Oh,
because
yeah,
like
with
I
the,
can already say
because
the
it
damn
was-
poor souls that died on Governor's Island.
Probably.
Or the straight paranormal activity that would take
that's what
place
Ash
there
said.
at the
Ash
lighthouse.
gave
Like,
me the reason that it was ground zero to so many hauntings, and Sky was
Yeah.
tapping
it
into
is.
that energy.
It legit, yeah,
It
that
legit-
spot. I'm actually wanting to start going back and just hanging out at the lighthouse so we can get involved with Alex
True.
and the bishop again.
I want to do
Yeah.
that. Do you have any idea how many
Yeah.
times I want to just go hang out at the lighthouse? Because it's a good
Ash has
memory.
been going there though, but just to drink.
I want
So
But-
just
but-
what?
But just to drink. But what's it called?
Oh, poor Ash been drinking too, huh?
Oh, gee.
Yeah, a little after
Sky's
everything.
about to start.
But,
I think we all be able to become alcoholics. Red's already there.
mhm.
Oh yeah.
no, but the
Probably.
the lighthouse is so
Probably fun.
pivotal for this storyline because it is the few things that like Ash can use that is like I guess not breaking any rules that's confirmed paranormal because of the devs. You get me? Whereas
Yes.
like a lot of other things, you kind of just have to play into it, but there's going to be no signs of proof you can ever use.
Right.
So yeah, the lighthouse
Yeah.
was an amazing coincidence.
Yep.
I-
Lighthouse has
I
been pretty much
hope
ground
that
zero
puts
for a lot
into
of that.
perspective why I'm so blown away by how the fuck I'm involved right now is just because it was an accident. Like
That's the
everything,
best way
all the
for it to
stories
happen,
just
too.
fit together.
That is the best way.
It
when
is.
that kind of stuff happens, not forced RP, no forced RP, no pre-planned RP. Things just happen naturally. You get the best storylines out of it that way.
And then it kept
So
happening.
I am a big fan of Yeah, I'm a big fan of trust the RP and roll
Mhm,
with it.
Mhm.
Big,
and
big fan.
Kenna is right. My chat would, whenever they had the time to show up, they would be like the do it kind of thing, you know?
Oh, is that how
So the demon was
fun.
chat.
Yeah. So occasionally they would
How
encourage me to roll for something.
fun.
If Sky
That's
would
a cool
have
way
enough
to get your community
self-control.
involved.
Mhm,
That's smart as fuck. All I get my community involved with is punching and shaking Red's booty.
Oh
That's the
my
extent of my
god.
community involvement.
The
I should
I-
change that.
what I liked a lot about the storyline was I think it was like this for a lot of characters, including from whatever I've seen Mavericks, is it had a lot of branching off things that we could have went down that would have led to a lot more of our characters being revealed. But
Mhm.
the way it went down, it was so down the middle for some of them. Like I know Ash, I think Red got to read a few things that led, I guess it's like hinting at certain things, but there is definitely a branch of that storyline we did where everything comes out, which was pretty cool because you definitely did feel that risk while playing it.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
For
Which
which,
was
for which
cool.
one? For Sky's part?
Yeah, the extra, well, the ending I'm specifically talking about, but yeah.
There is
Yes.
so much of me
Okay,
that
so
felt so awful that you guys were setting up so much, and I had a wrench that would ruin it. And I was like, I
did
mean,
you
it's
did the
fuck.
wrench ever get revealed?
Yeah,
Yes.
but it's
Or
one of those
is it
things where
meta?
it sucks,
Yeah,
yeah,
meta.
because it has to be kept between me and Golden.
That fucking does suck.
Yeah.
Damn
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe if this is by some grace, there's a loophole that we can talk about it. I hope.
Yeah,
Because it's very,
maybe.
very good.
Well, it's pretty
That's
airtight. It was pretty
It's-
airtight.
It was pretty
Time to
airtight.
talk to a crossroads demon.
Oh, that'd be sick.
Ooh.
Is the demon
Uh,
actually dead or is it gone?
No comment.
No comment.
Okay.
Yeah.
We
I think,
literally can't
murder.
say anything
I-
about the results.
So Red does know. I mean, we know in character. Yeah, we do.
Yeah, just
In
what Ash
character, we
said.
know what the agreement that Ash did was the contract.
Some
Can
of it.
you
yeah,
tell
some
me
of it.
that?
Some of it.
So
not
I
all
know
of it.
what to say.
Yeah,
What's
don't
that?
don't say anything. Let me reveal it
Okay.
because I only know what I leaked, I guess, afterwards. But not leaked, but you know what Ash said. But it wasn't the whole thing.
Well, Ash said a little bit, but then he had to walk away, and Mav said the rest. Well, no, Mav
Yeah.
said what his counter ended up being, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the stipulation that they
The
came to.
stipulation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but that's the extent of what Red knows, and she
Yeah.
knows that Sky is not dead or dying,
Mhm.
at least anymore.
No.
But all of their all of the plans that they had leading up to that were like completely out the window.
I felt
practically.
Yeah,
so
the wrench
awful.
was strong, and
I was hoping that
it was one of those.
That's why
Go
I
ahead,
wanted to
go
meet in
ahead.
person, so that people were
Yeah.
there, and it felt like something came to fruition. The ritual is ready, but Aishma's gonna talk first. But it was
there was an
just
issue
such
though.
a like hard to trust him enough to speak in person.
Well, there was a big issue with that because Ash's character, I think me and Vision have said this. It's similar to Maverick, but it's not fully. Where I think I've commented that Maverick's character is more of an absolutist, and he
Mhm.
knew that if this proposal was set in front of him, it would have
Oh, yeah.
been the more logical reason to just grab Sky and fucking throw him in a fucking in the ocean and just leave the demon, possessing him. So he
Good,
kind of
that
had to make the
bad.
sacrifice to the point
Mhm.
where the deal would save Sky and also skirt around that. So yeah, it was definitely the one core, I guess, branching off point of what makes those two characters different. And it was kind of like one of those things where it's like, well, do I do this and then save him, or do I quote unquote do this in front of him where I know it's going to lead?
My biggest thing that I did not want to do was shoot Hopper. I what led up to that is Aishma flooding Sky with irrational anger towards him because of one thing that Hopper did. Plus Hopper overall
gonna-
not trusting Arthur. Go ahead.
I'm gonna be back in a few minutes. You guys keep going.
Okay.
Oh, good.
Hopper never trusted Arthur, and then when Arthur and Sky had to have a serious conversation about a goofy haha lesbian girlfriend that Sky had, Hopper was being goofy, and Sky had lost all drive to tell Hopper not to because he didn't think that Hopper would listen. So he was very angry because he almost made Sky lose Arthur over that. And that anger lasted.
Oh,
That lasted for days, and he had told Arthur, if I see Hopper again at all this week, it will be too soon. And Arthur was trying to, encourage him to talk to Hopper. And Sky was like, no, it's not happening. I can't look at him. He was too angry, but it did end up that Sky talked to Hopper like the next day or so, or 2 days later.
and it went well, right?
It just went so well. It just went so really good. They're all best friends now. That anger was slowly filtering in throughout the day, and Sky was trying not to let Hopper even talk about it, because if he thought about it, he'd get angry, and he didn't trust himself if he got too angry. He started smoking again just to try to get his emotions under control, and then eventually they're at the lumberyard. Sky's taking these adorable pictures of Hopper with 2 rabbits, and then he just goes quiet, and then he rolls a 2. And Hopper's like, are you okay? And Sky's trying to keep distance from him. He's trying to get away. He's like fighting internally with him. And then I roll a 9. And I'm like, he is fighting, but these rolls are not looking good. And then he rolled a 1. And immediately took a gun out and, without saying a thing, shot Hopper in the face and ran away. And I needed that Chekhov's gun to put pressure on action, to make it so that Sky was not all bark no bite, because that was hung over his head so much. It was dangled like, you ain't shit, you ain't strong enough to do shit, you won't do shit, you are just acting out to be an asshole. And I needed Sky to be able to somehow prove that what is happening to him is serious, and he is not in control, and he is losing himself, which led to the second blood test, to prove that he is not there. He's losing this fight. Yeah. And then Aishma just started taking over, because Sky was getting too confused. Sky just wasn't there. All that was left to combine was his mind. The symbiosis was nearly completed.
Out of city, how long were you waiting for that to actually be just at the end of Beltane, or what?
Which specifically, what part?
The fuel, the full fuse of those two.
It was a full play it by ear. I had no timer on it.
if that makes sense.
That makes sense. That does.
It was just like, okay, what is the energy of the night? What are people worried about? What are people doing and accusing me of? And what do I need to do to make this tense?
How are you going to be our problem? It's pretty much what you're thinking.
Yeah, basically. How can I add is really what I was thinking. So like the fact that I had to make Aishma a little zesty, but I needed to be able to show that Sky's not there anymore. When he's coming in and out. He's coming in and out all the time. It's just I was just playing it by ear. I was just like, okay, ball's in your court. I'm gonna tell you what's up, and you're gonna tell me where I need to be.
Yeah. Specifically, well, what I think is hilarious is literally no breathing right after this storyline. The next day, Arthur dies.
Yes, and Sky was so desperate. He was trying to. This breaks my heart because he wanted to go to that meeting, but he knew he wasn't part of the team, and Hopper was there. He thought he was meeting Arthur at that meeting, and Arthur had just texted him like, "I don't think my team needs me anymore. Don't say this out loud." And there was a quick phone call that was like, "Hey, we're gonna talk about this later. Like, I'm gonna see you, and we're gonna talk." And then he died. So Sky feels like, not that he trusted y'all too much. He trusted you guys wholeheartedly to keep Arthur from doing something stupid. But he can't help but feel like, was there something he could have done if he just insisted on being a problem this time?
Yeah. One thing, I mean, obviously,
go ahead.
Yeah, don't take this like you need to take a character like this. I was just thinking, I guess, speculating more of what I thought you were going to do with Sky was that he was going to be kind of indebted and feel like he would need to help with future issues that were similar to that.
He doesn't feel indebted. He feels grateful and accepted. He feels cared about, which is like his life fucking goal because of how horrible his family was and all the like the 10 years he spent mostly alone.
Gotcha.
He feels connected to these guys, but he also very much understands that he's not part of them. His connection is Arthur and Lena, and Lena's not even in the team anymore. Ash and Maverick, Sky was a mission. Sky was a goal. And Red, oh boy, So Sky tries to be respectful and stay out of the way, but he wants to help and tries to help where he can. And so he's very upset that he didn't take the red flags of Arthur crashing out to jump in. Just because Red was there.
What does he think of Elliot now?
That is extremely complicated.
Yeah, it is. Elliot is like alone in a way, which I can go on and like.
He wants to be Elliot's, the place where Elliot can talk freely with no judgment. He wants to be that for Stefan as well.
Oh boy.
Which clearly we saw how that went. He doesn't want to be your dad. He never really like had the intention of adopting a kid. He doesn't think he'd make a good parent. But like he also understands how Elliot is treated by Red and Arthur, which isn't necessarily, I'm saying they treat him badly. They care so much. They just like a bit helicopter, I guess. A little helicopter
what
parenting.
What do you mean by
on
helicopter?
Accident. Hi.
Oh, helicopter parenting. Okay.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It means they hover around you, keep you safe, don't really let you go out and do things because they're afraid you're gonna get hurt.
Well, because he keeps getting himself almost killed.
No, I'm not saying you guys are doing bad. This is complete valid approach.
We had to helicopter. Listen, we had to helicopter parent Arthur. Come on.
No, yes, fully agree. We are on the same page.
Yeah.
But
keep
Sky.
going, but I do want to backtrack a little bit when you're done.
Okay. Sky wants to be the one that isn't going to leash Elliot. He wants to be there to catch him when he falls, but to allow him the opportunity to try.
Which is also the big red flag that Red is getting as a vibe from Sky right now.
Yeah, because you want to be the cool
FYI.
parent.
You want to be the cool
I don't even want to be a
parent.
parent. I just want to be the
well, okay,
this
but
kid,
you want to be the enabler almost. It's almost like it's being like, you know what I mean? Like
he's
encouraging
in a way
when
he's
this kid is
trying
on a
not
downward.
to. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
I know.
you're completely correct. Completely and utterly correct. Like objectively. But he's just trying to get
my God,
his
my
end
dogs.
goal is get Elliot to open up, get Stefan, if he can too, to open up and recover.
But
because
I guess the question is Sky in the right. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Because Red and Arthur and everyone else have broken Elliot's trust to be completely open and freely speak with in his intention and his goals and his feelings. Sky hasn't broken that yet, and he's very aware that Elliot needs someone to talk to.
Has Red broken that with Elliot?
That's the vibe I got. That's the vibe that Sky gets. I don't know if it's true.
Okay.
I can go on in that in like sections, but go on.
So Sky's just trying to be like, okay, I'm gonna hold your hand and we can go. But if you let go of my goddamn hand, I'm letting your mother know.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
No, it does. It does. Yeah. There's a lot to be said about that.
I know. It's a complicated situation.
It's so complicated because in Red's mind right now, I mean, first of all, we can obviously tell she does not like Sky that much. I mean, yeah, she did try to save his life, but at the same time, she's still in her mind. He is still.
And I had an answer to a question earlier about how Sky didn't show up to the meeting because Red was there. So if you know, I feel like that's worth you listening to later on.
Which part? To which meeting?
At the jetty.
Oh, at the jetty.
Sky was under the impression that he was going to.
That's
the jetty
what I
with
wanted
you
to
guys.
Yeah. But that's what I wanted to backtrack to.
Yeah.
Okay, so with because I was listening while I stepped away, I was still listening.
Oh, okay. Then you heard.
And you had made you had made the comment of you wish if Sky had been there basically to just talk him out of his crash out, right? And if he'd been there, he would have been able to say something.
Oh, he doesn't think he would have. He thinks he would have had a chance more than
he would have had a
not
chance
being there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So with that, even though they wasn't necessarily the last words that were said to Arthur, there was one last serious conversation that Red and Arthur had at the jetty after Ash and Mav left to go, I think, get you guys. And Arthur
kidnapped.
was telling her,
Because we got fucking kidnapped.
Because you got kidnapped, yes. And he was telling her, basically, he's done. He's washed up. He's got no fight left in him. The team doesn't need him. He's done. And Red did have those final words with him to reiterate his importance, not just to the investigation team, but to each of these people individually. Like he does still contribute. Like his value to the team is not done. His value to the people in his life is not over. You know, and you'd have to go back and watch it, but the two of them had a good, I would say 10-15 minute conversation of her expressing and trying to reiterate his importance. Like, he is a valuable person. He is loved very much. He has so much more to live for, and he needs to stop this pity party and, you know, pull up his big boy pants and, you know, stop making it seem like he's a washed up dog. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, she had that conversation with him, and it didn't seem to set in, I guess you could say. I think the way Marky played the character is there was no conversation that was going to change his mind.
I know, yeah. And I think Sky isn't even thinking about a conversation that could have happened. He's thinking about, like, where could I have been standing? Could I have been able to pull my own weapon and start a negotiation? Could I have been able to be unnoticed, sneak away, and call somebody? What could have happened if I was there? Is all that's going through Sky's head.
I'm going to tell you, yeah, I'm sure that is going through his head, but I'm going to tell you right now, there was no reaction time for any of us.
Nope. No, I know.
There was zero reaction time. Yeah,
there was nothing
except for
to
the
be
fact
done.
that Red.
Sorry, continue.
I was gonna say the only real reaction time was more of a thing of like Red was able to send that text.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that was like
that was
and it didn't work
that
out.
was it.
The only advantage would have been was 5 guns versus 4 if he was there.
Well, so real
Out of
fast, I
character,
have about
fully
like
no.
15-20 minutes. But out of character, yeah, something you guys didn't know, we only had 4 guns. Not everybody had a gun.
Yeah.
That doesn't surprise me.
You guys were so scary.
And I think there's like a moment you could actually see, like when we're all huddled up, it's actually me handing over my gun to somebody else.
That is funny.
And then one of them handed me a chainsaw because they suggested using a chainsaw
Oh my
instead
god.
of a gun. So it could have been like 10 times worse, but I was like, I was like, the chainsaw's too much. I can't do the chainsaw. Like, if I was another person, maybe. But being Cassie in that moment, Cassie would have used the knife.
Yeah.
Right, which she did.
Mm-hmm.
Until I glitched out.
God damn it! And those damn glitches, right?
For real.
like when Red tried to shoot Arthur. The one time she tried to kill him, and the gun wouldn't lift into the air.
Is that
point the gun at him.
why?
Yes.
Oh my god.
The gun glitched out. So I rolled with it and said, "Why can't I point the gun at you?" And he was like, "Because you know," and blah blah blah. Right? Like we made it this whole thing of Red can't kill Arthur. She can never kill Arthur, and we rolled with it. But initially, I was gonna point the gun at him, and I was gonna pop off a shot. Now, was I going to hit him with it? I don't think so. I don't think I was. I was gonna pop off a shot though.
Oh my god.
And let it whiz past his head. But as soon as I pulled out the fucking gun, it wouldn't point. Every time I went to lift it, it kept going down automatically. Like it kept like trying to pocket itself.
I saw that clip. Now it makes sense what the hell you were going through.
The same issue I had the night Miranda died is both Smurf and I got the gun glitch, so we couldn't actually shoot at each other properly.
Crazy.
Otherwise, that would have been a shorter gunfight.
I bet I would have. But yeah, no, I did not intentionally have that scene. I mean, it made for some crazy cool RP, making it look like Red couldn't actually try to shoot him. But it was because I was like legit couldn't lift my gun. I couldn't get it in the air. So
it's fucking crazy.
But anyways, so at that point it was determined that okay, Red is never going to try to kill Arthur again because she can't. So we rolled with that as being the lore of it, I guess.
That's so good. I can't believe how like good that turned to like a narrative standpoint.
Yeah. Like I had to stay in character with it. I had to, you know what they say, the show must go on. So I had to do something. So
I would have been an asshole and said like, "Oh, you should punch me real quick," you know?
No. Like I said, I don't think I ever actually was
like that.
I wouldn't have actually shot him. But I would have definitely popped a bullet off, and I was going to intentionally miss, I think was my plan. But I didn't get a chance to even do that.
Yeah.
So mad. But I think it turned out better that way. Anyways, so what were we talking about before we started talking about glitches?
Oh, I was just gonna make a comment on the exorcism thing.
Oh, go ahead.
It's a shame. Well, obviously, I understand, but that Taurus character Elsa wasn't able to interact with any of that because I'm very curious on how that would have changed everything.
I have wanted to interact with Elsa so fucking much. I just am not able to.
That is going to be some fucking heavy RP when she comes back.
Oh my god, does the player even know? Like,
I don't know. Has anyone messaged her IRL to say,
She
hey,
knows. She knows.
she does?
Okay.
Oh god.
oh gee.
I can imagine, like, she gets off the plane, her suitcase is in her hand, like, happy to be back to, like,
She's gonna, as
hug
soon as she pulls
Ash,
out her phone.
Fucking airplane mode
see-
turns off and all the text
yeah,
flood
like,
in.
to see everyone, and, like, why is Arthur not here right now? Is he busy?
Uh-huh.
I believe
just
I
like-
No,
Well,
she's
yeah.
gonna. So basically, as soon as she pulls out the phone, she's gonna see everything.
Dr. fucking
yeah,
Shakira
I believe I
had
made a
that.
joke about it. I like sent a gif of
Yeah.
the world burning. I'm like, that's pretty much the world that Elsa's returning to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's gonna be crazy.
And Sky's going through so much right now. He's not like, he got angry at someone suggesting therapy to him, not because he doesn't want therapy or thinks he's above it, but because he's going through so much. A lot of him doesn't think he deserves the good things that's happening to him.
Oh, he's gonna look for a therapist, huh?
That's
Sorry, it's just there's a funny,
yeah. So that's why he's trying to
help.
help. Like, he's aware enough to try to cope and process the grief, but he's also unintentionally pushing everything down and trying to help everyone else first. That's why he's latching onto Elliot as much as he is.
I think everyone's doing that.
No, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's coping with feeling emotions that aren't some variation of anger-based. Anger-based sadness, anger-based happiness, anger, it's not there.
I mean, that's literally what Stefan is doing right now.
Because of...
Too bad Jim's not on this call, huh?
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
I just realized. Did he even get invited?
I hope so.
Oh my god, I hope so.
Let's see.
Is he in there?
I don't think so.
Is he not in there? Dang it, Marky, you
Oh my
had
God, he's
one
not.
job.
Oh my god, he's not. Oh my god.
Guess I'm the better child.
If he's watching the streamer now, it's Marky's fault.
I can DM him. You guys want me
He's
to check
not
if he's
home.
around?
Oh, Dread did, but he's not home. Okay.
Okay,
So he's
okay.
not available. Damn. Because prior to this exorcism thing was the whole Oni mask.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which
Arthur pissed Sky off
God damn,
couple
that was a
times
big
with
one
putting that shit
too.
Of him putting on the mask and beating Elliot, or?
Oh yeah, Sky was expecting to want to kill Jim for that, and then he was like, "Oh, I actually feel like we can talk about this
And here we go
and deal with this."
Here we go with another kid of Arthur's acting just like Arthur. Like
exactly.
Oh my
God.
god.
I'm going back to, the memory of Arthur stabbing himself with Umberville intentionally at Humane Labs and be like, come on, bruh. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And here
yeah.
James goes putting on a possessed Oni mask on purpose.
Yeah.
And
I know something about that
Just-
mask. Or at least
Ash knows
like
a
his
lot
goals.
about that mask.
what, the original one?
The mask.
The one that's currently being used.
The one currently. in
Oh,
use.
the currently being used one.
The one for Minnie?
No comment.
I don't know much about it. I just know that I was there when, watching the stream when that shit happened, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
It's a
Oh. Okay, yeah, okay, because he was telling Red a little bit about that whole thing when they went to have a heart-to-heart,
How did
and she
that
threatened him.
go? Don't tell me
Yeah.
exactly what happened, but did that go well?
What?
that heart to heart with
Which-
Jim.
Yeah, well, it was initially started out as just her checking on him, right?
Mhm.
And then he was telling her a little bit, and he was asking for some information, which she gave him nothing, bare minimum. But her intention of going to meet with him initially was because she heard from Sky and somebody else, I think, and Elliot, Sky and Elliot, that Jim pushed Elliot up against the wall and punched him, punched the shit out of him, under control of the Oni or whatever. And so she went to go have a chat with him. The chat started off nice and sweet, but then her intention of being there initially, like, was leading up to her confronting him and basically saying, "Don't you ever lay hands on my son again."
Sky almost
And
said
that's
that.
how the conversation ended.
verbatim.
Huh?
I said
And
Sky
I love
almost
Red
said,
for that.
Say,
I think what he almost said that he ended up deleting, Sky, was, if you do that again, I won't be as nice. Like, I won't be as nice next time kind of shit.
I think Red said something along the lines of like, if you ever lay hands on my son again, it doesn't matter what demons possess you, or something like you're gonna fear me instead. Something along those lines.
God damn.
It was what, yeah, I don't care what. No, it was what. I don't care what powers of hell possess you. You're gonna fear me. And that's
what
how
Sky does.
she walked away from James.
Guy's more afraid of Red than he is of Aishma.
Oh, I love that. That's fucking hilarious.
He
But
tries
anyways,
very
yeah, that
hard.
was like
Mhm.
that was like the only time that James and Red have talked, except for that little meeting that they had up in Polito with Ash and Mav there. But that was like not like they haven't had a whole lot of one-on-one conversations, her and Jim. But Jim's kind of a lone wolf, though. That's, I think, part of the problem.
I got to
He
Yeah,
likes
learn,
to go off by himself.
I got to
Oh,
learn
see, I
that
think that's
Jim.
what I've been trying to do is involve him a little more because
Uh-huh.
yeah, his character's so fun just to have around though.
He's great. He's great. And I also
He
got to
is,
learn
and
out of
he's-
character that Jim cares so much about Sky and Hopper. And Sky's over here like, oh, this guy doesn't think about me ever.
He has a lot
Oh my
of
God.
time spent with Lucy, which Elliot is like, oh,
Yeah.
oh.
Wait, I'm so confused by this. Are Lucy and Elliot actually a thing or what?
No.
Like, I'm so
No.
confused.
Depends on who you ask.
He bought the new apartment just to like escape from everyone, including Lucy. That's why he mainly bought to be closer to Arthur,
Mhm.
which was
Wow.
his goal. He wanted to be closer to Arthur and get away from Lucy.
So when do the devs usually wipe the apartments that after someone's permanent?
I assume after the character's deleted.
I think you have to
We're
delete your
not
character.
Sure, actually,
Don't you?
because we're having a thing about certain houses. They might just get auctioned off at some point.
Gotcha.
That's why I've been trying to encourage
I
everyone
still
to
have-
like, hey, I have
I would
keys. Let's go
assume-
in and get the shit out of there. That's important.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
but I
made
would
me
assume
cry.
that they couldn't do anything until the character's deleted, right?
Well, the houses we're looking at, I don't know how much I want to say. Just that we need like dev or someone involved because the players themselves aren't around.
Mm. Okay.
So it's
I always
either
assumed
waiting
DOJ.
for yeah, and we're wondering if maybe it's just like a DOJ thing where they're just going to auction them off at some point, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would think so. But I would say it would have to at least be after some sort of time because of like for example, we haven't done the funeral yet for Arthur, right? So technically his character's not deleted so that he can be present for that.
Yeah.
So I would say nothing should happen before the funeral. I would think nothing would happen before the funeral.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for someone to get locked in there.
Yeah.
Also something when Elliot and Sky went to like go through his apartment. Like that's a scene I wanted to go. Like I wanted Elliot to like I still want Elliot to go to the courthouse and like clear his desk. But like him going to the apartment and like going through like Arthur's stuff. Like, oh, like this is what he was doing, like this is what he liked, like oh, like this is like he still has the couch Elliot gave him. And I walk in the bathroom and I read a message on the mirror. I'll miss you. And I just had to take like at least 5 minutes to cry. Like
I'm gonna post that.
This
that
is
picture
the
you sent me about that, 'cause
realization.
that hurt.
Yeah, I mean that was literally the realization for me. Like, oh wait, Arthur's not coming back.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit,
Yeah.
I will miss him. Like he's not coming back. And that hurts like hell.
Mine
And
was
then
when.
also-
Sorry, continue.
Like also when we were on the campsite on top of the mountain, and like I saw Sky on the phone, and I was like, oh wait, he's calling with Dad. Like, tell him I love him. And I was like, oh wait, he died. It's not him on the phone. And I was like, oh well, here we go again.
Yeah.
You have anything else for me? Or questions or such?
I'm just gonna say I'm on to you. I'm on to you.
Okay,
Sky is
okay,
also on to you.
Because
okay.
Elliot knows more than he tells people, especially about Cassandra.
Yeah, and you need to shut your mouth about it.
I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying that.
No meta.
I'm just saying that. I'm on to you.
Sky's picked up on some things
Maybe.
without having to be told anything.
Okay.
Maybe. There's a lot you don't know about Cassandra, so
But there's a lot.
Yeah.
like I keep some really good secrets about my characters.
I
Hold a lot of
pray our
cards to my
characters
hand.
never meet Boxy in the most loving way possible. I don't think
want you
any
to know-
situation where we meet is good.
I want you to know I'm pretty sure I've already walked past you
Oh, I mean, granted, there is like 30 different twins I have.
multiple times.
Multiple times.
Multiple
Oh,
times.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I'm gonna overthink
I
everything now.
definitely walked past Ash one day.
Yeah, I can clock that moment.
Yeah. I think we both clocked that moment. We
Yeah.
were
But
Did I
obviously,
drive
Ash didn't
past you
realize.
in the tunnels with you and two other people standing there, and I drove by you guys on a bike? Was that you?
maybe.
Oh, don't
You
do
guys are
that.
so
Don't do
scary.
that.
You guys are so fucking scary.
Maybe.
Yeah, you
But-
think Miranda's a time? Just wait. You have no idea what Cassandra is like.
Holy fuck.
And that is something that was told. You never speak a word about Cassandra.
hmm
And that's something that was said, and Ellie's like, that's it. We'll be quiet. We'll move on.
I
Period.
had to tell someone something about that as well recently.
Something.
Something about Cassandra. Sky had to be like,
Oh God. Y'all are horrible.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sorry,
it
I
is
love
spilled.
teasing. I love taunting.
It is spilled. Like when Aphrodite made the post about Cassandra and Miranda,
Mhm.
Elliot was like, yeah, it's when we talk about the people, we keep their memory alive. Period. That's it.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. The fact that Cassandra was being addressed at
Yeah,
all.
but that's what he like. He tried to switch the whole conversation to everyone on Life Invader. It's because we talk about them; they're alive.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Not
Yeah,
because
but
they are alive. We talk about them. That's what keeps
Yeah.
the memory alive.
Unfortunately, it didn't work.
Nope, didn't.
No.
It did not work. That did not work.
And now we're down in Arthur. We're down to Ginger.
Yeah, we're down in Arthur because of it. Damn it.
Like as bad as that situation was, like how do I put this?
Side.
Like they were already going to have a conversation together, so I don't think really it affected too many things. It was just like
No, but that
they
it was
never.
addressed that she was alive. That was an oof.
Go
It
ahead,
was
Boxy.
like they were supposed to have a conversation way before the Aphrodite stuff because it was like
Because, yeah.
because Miranda died, and then so people were reaching out to the other ones and being like, "Hey, just so you know, Miranda's dead," and someone had tried to bring that up to Cassandra, being like, "Hey, we should have a talk about this, right?" In that moment, like she's like, "Whatever it is, I don't want to know." And somebody, I can't remember who, had actually said something to her, and I think it was Arthur, and I think they were gonna meet to have a conversation about it and just never got around to that. And that was like a month ago.
Yeah. Yeah, it was about a month ago.
I still
Or
miss
That's
Miranda.
crazy.
More than a month, a little more than a month, maybe ish.
Oh no, yeah,
No.
probably a month and a half.
This is the end of March.
Yeah, geez, wow.
Yeah, I
So like,
still miss Miranda.
so like overdue conversation, anyways. That was gonna happen, but definitely.
It was a
some other
lovely
things
conversation.
leaked out.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. Don't say that to me. I feel so bad. Like immediately
funny.
after I stabbed Red and Arthur went down, I messaged the both of them being like, I'm so sorry, but stop making me stab your characters.
Wait. Are you talking about the night that Arthur died?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did message. That was before he permed, though.
Kermit, yeah. I was like, stop it.
She's like, stop making me hurt you guys. I said, stop. Oh, wait, hold on. Let
Yeah,
me go back.
I'm
to
You're
what
gonna-
exactly.
You're
I'm
like,
gonna put
Arthur's
Mark
the
on
one that
blast.
needs to stop.
I'm gonna put Mark on blast on that one.
Um,
He, after what the gardener did with shooting him fucking 12 times, he literally DM'd me and he said, if Arthur goes down even once in the next week, I'm gonna perma.
He told me.
And I was
he
like,
told
brother,
me, he's like,
don't.
if I get
You're Arthur, don't do that.
he told me if I get shot again, I'm gonna perma. He didn't get shot. I was arguing. I'm like, technically though, you said shot, so
What?
I don't think you should.
What's up,
perma.
Reed? Don't do what? By the way, y'all, Reed Walker in chat. That's Terry. That's motherfucking
Oh, no.
Terry in the chat right now. What's up?
Hi,
Don't do
Terry.
what? Goddamn. Okay. Drama. Oh, everyone go yell at Peeber for going to do RP and Peeber.
Jim.
Terry is sweet and innocent, my ass. For
Jim's
going
name
to
is
RP
Peter.
instead of talking about Peter? Who?
Jim's name is Peter.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yelling at him for going to do RP instead of. Okay, got it. I see what you're saying. Oh my God. Oof, should we talk? Dude, should we talk about the Terry thing from the other night? From
Oh
last night?
man,
It
That
is
was
fucking
I
ridiculous.
It opened Elliot's eyes. Elliot is like, Mom, what the fuck? Why is the IAA involved with you? and like Elliot now wants to meet Terry. He wants to know everything about
Of
Terry.
course
He
You're
wants to know
so
everything about
nosy.
the
You were
IAA.
just like Arthur.
Of course he does.
He wants to have his phone number. He wants to.
Oh my
No.
god. He's gonna fucking
Okay,
start
I
up
gotta
Elliot
dip.
investigations.
all right.
Okay, Boxy. Thanks for joining. Hopefully
Bye,
we'll see you
Boxy.
again
Love you.
soon.
Bye.
All right, bye. Todd was me. I'll admit to that. Oh, you shot Todd. Oh, okay. But that was
But
because
then-
he wanted it. We agreed. Okay.
But then
Oh
who
my
shot
God.
me?
Who shot Elliot and who shot at Red? Because she had a bullet. So look, let me actually pull it up because I want you to see how this bullet actually whizzed past her head. From last night. Let me get it real quick here. I went back and I watched it and I was shocked. I was like, oh my God, that really was my head that it was aiming at. And it was from the south. I got the wrong direction on where the bullet came from. Where are we on that? No, it's back this way. Right here.
I haven't seen this yet.
Okay. Right. So there was a race going through, and you're going to see the bullet go right. Hold on. You're going to see it go like right like that. Watch. It's after I think the yellow car passes. So right after this car, watch for the bullet right when she turns back to face them. Or right here. Do you see that? Like, I was like,
Holy
wait a second,
shit.
what did I just hear? I heard that. I wish there was a way to just not.
Holy fuck.
It should be right here, right? Yeah, right here again. Watch where that bullet came from. So it came from this building. You can tell. And right like that. Like, holy shit. And then the second bullet goes off in about a few seconds here. Like, I couldn't hear because of the freaking fire hydrant.
I didn't hear it too. I thought it was just crazy people in crazy city.
It is right here, I think. See? And that's when I... So I thought this was Marabunta setting us up to get shot. And then we get over to the building. So what I thought was the second bullet, I'm going to admit, I think it was just my tire blowing out. So I think that second bullet actually was aimed at my bike while it was sitting in front of City Hall now that I think about it.
I
And
think
it
there
just...
were more bullets.
No,
It
I'm
hit
just
a
saying
tire
that...
once, and then we were still getting shot, I think.
Yeah, no. So right here, though, we weren't shot. I think this was my tire blowing out, maybe? So I think that second bullet was aimed at my bike and hit the tire. It just hadn't blown yet. You'll see it right here, I think. Yeah, because I was on the phone with... See, right there. So, but no, that could have actually been a bullet, too. I can't tell. And then we lose the tire. So we lose the tire, and then he gets on the building. And right as he's up there, he gets shot. Yeah, and so then she got shot, and then Terry pulls on up. And she's thinking Terry's involved in this shit. It was crazy. So here, let me pause this and put it back down. But yeah, so that there was definitely the moans. What are you talking about? There was definitely the first gunshot and the second one. And then I don't know about the tire blowing out. That might have been a mistake on my part. But Elliot getting shot on the building, that meant it wasn't us just being caught in some kind of crossfire. There was legitimate attempt, I think,
Motive,
to take one of us out. There was something there. And then Terry rolling up to get us out of there was just clutch. But even still, Red thought he was involved.
Yeah, I thought that, like, the black car, I thought like everyone almost has a black car. It's like gang related or something. We're about to get rolled up. I'm gonna lose all my money for the car. Like, oh, here we go.
I just spit my drink.
No.
Anyways.
Wait, you had it in cash?
Yeah,
that's
what
what
the guy
he asked for
said,
it
but
in
that's why
cash.
that's why I was there too.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, and
I think the guy was saying that it was his experience when he bought a car that's how he had to do it. So could be wrong information.
That's how I had
But
to
I
do
will
it
tell
when
you,
I bought my car off track.
I was trying to say it. I can't say this in character, obviously. But trying to explain it here, like Todd and his gang, the Nations, right? That wouldn't have been some fuck shit that they would have pulled, because Todd is my IRL brother, and so the guy that plays that character, and he wouldn't do some bullshit like that to me unless my character fucked up somehow, right?
Yeah.
So that I can't say that in character, but I'm like, trust me, Todd is not the one that did this. He wouldn't do this shit to me. What car is he wanted? Papa Terry can he wanted the gauntlet. He was trying to buy a gauntlet.
yeah.
But anyways,
the car Arthur has.
The exact car that Arthur has, right? He was trying to get a car like Arthur's. But she never ended up getting it, so we got to rearrange that setup. But the guy you were buying it from, well, the reason I was bringing that up, the guy that you were buying it from is a guy that it's in Todd's gang. He's in the same crew. So he should be a trustworthy person to buy that from. Puppeteer can buy plenty of those. I bet he can. I bet he can. He could. Yeah, he probably could.
I would accept
So-
puppeteering.
Anyways, so that was crazy. Then we got out of there, and then the whole scene that took place with the fucking helicopter, like
That shit was crazy.
Yeah.
with the missiles being shot, and
I still don't know. Is it all connected? Is it not? Is
I
everything
think
separate?
so.
Because
think so,
Bones was
because
also there. It was crazy.
It seemed really targeted. It didn't feel accidental. Like I said, the bullet being aimed right at Red, going past her head like that. Pretty sure the second bullet was at her bike, which is why we heard it, because it ricocheted off the bike. And then Elliot being shot on the roof that we escaped to, and then the helicopter tracking us down where we went to stitch Elliot up and shooting missiles and following us all the way to Grapeseed with whatever helicopter that was that came out after that.
Yeah, that fucking Avenger. I've never seen one of those in server. Ever.
So
And
this
then the
isn't a
barn being lit on
gang.
fire.
The barn being lit. This is not a gang that was doing this, right? These are some people with some special powers that are doing this. And I can only think that, people with let's just say that kind of money in the city, that kind of power in the city, are probably going to be directly connected to Bones
Yeah.
and the governor. Yeah. So it felt like a targeted attack from the governor, 100%. So
How many dads is Elliot
That-
gonna get? What the hell is happening in chat?
Well, okay. So I like shipping people. I have a new ship. Yeah,
Hold up,
I have a
hold up.
new ship.
Hey,
wait, hold on. I want to read. Don't call me out. I can't be in several places. I was shooting Todd at school. That's what he says. So he says, don't blame him. Go ahead.
So Elsa and Ash, love them. Chef's kiss. Then I was first I was for Arthur and Miranda, but that very quickly went out of the window for Arthur and Red. And then sorry, Sky. But
It's
now
fine.
with Maverick and Red, their connection, I'm shipping. I'm
okay,
shipping
honestly,
shipping that?
and
honestly,
Red.
kind of
Yeah.
same. Kind of same.
Yeah. Red and Maverick.
They got chemistry,
Yes.
I think.
The fucking way that Arthur pulled that last night in the zombie server.
Oh my god, I
My
lost my mind.
shit. I lost
haven't
my
seen
shit
it.
on that.
That
That was
entire
fuck-
scene was
It
fucking
was so
hilarious.
good. I want to
The
watch
whole
that
thing
again.
was great. The whole thing was great. But when he pulled
mean-
that, what about Terry and Red? You'd never want for anything.
Yeah.
A motherfucker. Hold up though. Hold
Hold
up.
on.
Hold up.
I'm
Red.
just on-
Hold on. Red has tried to get your ass to take her out for coffee how many times now? Hasn't happened yet, has it?
pushing that. Elliot will
So-
keep pushing that.
Pushing what?
Like to go you two on a date. Like he wants to know everything about Terry now. He's a
For
Terry fan. He
Terry.
needs to have a new purpose.
Boy, you flip flop.
Yeah, you flip flopped immediately.
That was a
No, I'm
complete
not-
180.
I'm not saying but like okay, with Elliot, first he sees Miranda die, he has to give up on Humane. Now Arthur is dead. He is still like on the bench with the whole investigation team. It's like he.
Oh,
he-
you
like,
just
he
want
needs
people
to-
in power.
No. He
Is
he
that what
needs
it is?
something to do. He
You
like, he
want
needs
you want
something to do.
rich daddy is what you
No. He
want.
needs something to do.
That's
That's what it
crazy.
sounds like, man.
And like he's so lost, especially Stefan. Like he kills Augustine. Your son, like from the alternative universe, Augustine was keeping somewhere. He escaped. My theory is Josh. I don't know who Josh is. My theory is Josh. And
What?
also-
What? Sorry,
Yeah,
that
like-
just threw me. What?
like one of
Hold
the
on, my
notes Augustine
chariots.
had. One of the notes from
Ain't
Augustine is that she kidnapped
Fucking way.
your son. Wait, what?
Reed needs to calm down. He's about to go find a gauntlet. Comb your tits, bruh. No. All right, keep going.
Yeah, like, your son from the alternative universe that Augustine captured, he escaped when Stefan killed the whole facility at the
Mhm.
Grand Manor in Russia. So my theory, it's Josh. I don't know. It's just a theory. Also, Stefan now being so lost what to do. Like he was a puppet for like 25 years. Now he's free. Like, what the fuck does that mean? Then he wants to accept or at least try to get amends with Arthur, and immediately he dies. It's like Stefan is like, yeah, well, this is what Arthur always does. He did it with my mom. He loves her, gets rid of her. With Red, he loves her, gets rid of her.
God,
Now
no wonder
Sky,
acts that way with
he
this
loves
guy.
he loves Sky. He's gone. And the same with Elliot, and now with Stefan, it's like gut instinct. Like, I should have not trusted.
So you
Arthur.
you want to know something funny though? So and this is both an he is not read just you motherfucker. He just sent me something. So and this is both an in character and out of character observation with Arthur and Red. But Red truly does feel this in character. That Arthur never was actually in love with Red. He loved her, yes, but he was never in love with her. He used her as a backup, I guess you could say, or if every other relationship fell through. So he never let her get too far away. If she started to stray, started to say, you know, maybe we should break up, started like he would always reel her back in, but then when she started to get too close, he would stop it and push her away again. It was this back and forth with the two of them for months. And then finally Red was like, I'm not doing this anymore. And that's when she completely like shut it down. But her heartache is watching how easily Sky and Arthur had the relationship that she so badly wanted with him.
I feel so bad.
Like the way that he treated Sky, the way that he was affectionate with Sky, and just like obviously it came naturally. And she realized in those moments of seeing this is, wow, I really never was. He was never like really in love with me. He's in love with Sky. And then her being jealous of that relationship that she never got to have with Arthur, but it also solidified her thought process of, wow, this guy really never was in love with me. And so the stuff she's going through right now that she's been going over with, I should say, since Sky and Arthur got together is the almost feeling used, like the way that she was used in the relationship and that it was never serious. And so her going through trying to get over him because she loved him too hard, in a sense. That's kind of where she's at with that whole thing right now. But
What? Sorry, go ahead.
Huh?
Oh, no, go ahead. I was just gonna break off into a different tangent. So
was somebody else trying to say something?
No, I was just being distraught. I was making distraught
You're
sounds.
just being distraught. But anyway, so that is where that character's mindset is with, you know, seeing Ash and, or I'm sorry, Sky and goddamn Sky and Arthur have that relationship that she's very, very jealous of. And I think that's why it translates over into what it is right now with Sky.
That's why Sky tries to stay the hell away all the time from her.
Yeah, but because so not only did Sky take Arthur away from Red, now it feels like she's trying to take Elliot away from her now too.
True.
I'm not trying to. Oh god.
No, but there's this barrier that she's trying to put up with Sky. It's like, you've ruined enough of my life, you know?
Oh, they need to have a sit down talk, I think.
Yeah, they do. In Elliot's eyes, that is kind of what Red pushed to as well. Cause like he wanted to get himself involved again. Like he wanted to help Ash with the whole demon stuff and everything. And like Red was constantly busy with fixing that with Ash, and Ellie was like, okay, I'm still here. Like I'm avoiding Arthur because I don't know if I would hurt him again. And like suddenly Sky was there to actually be there for him in some way.
You reached out
even
that
though Red
first
was just
time,
busy.
and Sky understood that he shouldn't get involved with Elliot, but he also understood that Elliot doesn't have a lot of people right now.
Yeah.
It's really just pure jealousy from Red right now, and being selfish
Completely
in a sense
validly
because of it.
too. So
Yeah,
utterly
but she's
valid.
also being selfish in a sense because if she's letting her jealousy get in the way of trying to make sure Elliot's okay. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And it all comes
Oh.
back to the conversation we all had with Ash. It was like, how far can we let our job control our lives?
That right there is pivotal that Ash did. Well, was robbed of the chance to ask Arthur that, the opinion he was actually most after. He never got to ask Arthur that question that he asked everyone else around the campfire.
I mean, I think I would know Arthur's
Oh,
question.
yes.
Arthur, I think, saves life before.
Oh yeah. Oh, see, I know, but
Okay.
Ash specifically, yeah. But yeah, that was detrimental. I even messaged Marky. I was like, dude, you know how important it was that he needed to kind of hear his opinion on it. Yeah, but it's
And now
funny.
he doesn't get to.
Yeah.
Ugh. The craziness.
So many things we
Okay,
didn't
and
get to
then
do.
what? Huh?
So many things we didn't get to do. We won't get to do.
So many things we didn't get to do.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I remember like this one joke I made with Golden, like a scene that I wanted to play out with Red, Ash, Elliot, and Arthur in one room, where Ellie would be like so mad at Arthur, like, you never love Red, you don't love me, you love him, and you have these heart attacks. Are they because of me? And then Elliot would just leave. It's one good thing, like, it never happened, but yeah.
That would have been a hard one.
Y'all just make me feel things.
I'm sorry. It does
I
feel
just
like an
feel-
attack on Sky. We need to calm it down.
Wait, no, it's okay. It's okay.
It does feel like an attack on Sky. But you did fucking mosey your way on in there,
I
bruh.
didn't mean to. Sky didn't even know you were. Didn't even know
No,
your
it's
name.
really, you know what though? It's really not. Well, because he kept introducing Red to everyone as his partner, not
Truly,
as his
didn't.
truly,
Yes.
it's Arthur's fault.
He didn't to
It
Sky.
is truly Arthur's fault. Everyone, when he said partner to people thought like team member, like investigative partner, not they were together.
I
And
wouldn't.
it's
I
not-
wouldn't have
it's
taken
not
it that way.
Sky's
If I go
fault that-
rewatch and he said that, then I'm the asshole. But like, I hear partner and I think relationship.
Nah.
I don't think
Well,
Arthur
okay,
introduced
maybe,
you
but a lot
to
of
me.
people were taking it. Maybe not everybody, but a lot of people were taking it as investigative partner.
That's how I would have took it.
Yeah, because they knew we were doing the private investigating, and as a matter of fact, Grandpa Joe didn't even know they were together.
Yeah.
He never knew that Red and Arthur were
And
together.
That in itself
And-
hurts too.
Yeah,
Poor
when
Red.
when Red was talking to Grandpa Joe, he's like, "Oh, you and Arthur? I had no idea." And she's like, "Ha, doesn't surprise me," you know.
Yeah.
And then like when he would on some rare occasions introduce her as his girlfriend, people would be like, "Oh, Miranda." Like, yeah.
But you know what?
So you can imagine.
I won't lie. I
Huh?
do get worried about the perception of Sky because none
Yeah,
of that
well-
was his intention.
Yeah.
I think as
No,
long as it's not true to your character, perception usually changes as RP develops.
No, for sure, for sure. And I'm not
But
like
it
getting controlled by
really
any
wasn't-
perceptions.
It wasn't really Sky's fault though. We can't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even though there's the jealousy with Red, it wasn't Sky that did it. It was Arthur that did it.
Yep.
Yeah, but Sky could also have thought, this is the situation Red and Arthur are in. I'm gonna back away.
What
I
Hopper
don't-
said.
That's what he was going to do, but that's not what Arthur told him.
Oh man.
And he
Yeah.
didn't like lie. He didn't exactly lie. He just said, I don't want to ask you to wait. And then Sky said, Sky took that as but I want to ask you to wait. And he said, okay, I'll wait. If
But
you
the,
think this
the
relationship might be ending,
confronting-
then I'll be here.
Yeah, the confronting of Arthur in front of Sky though, when at the hospital.
That put so many things in
Just-
perspective, and Sky was ready to be like, if this guy doesn't feel any fucking guilt, it's over. It's over.
but it was necessary.
It was extremely
to
necessary.
set him on the trajectory that he finally ended up going down. Right.
Legendary scene, by the way.
Yeah, that was pretty intense.
Yeah.
What did they say?
Like you
have to
broke
invite someone into
Sky
your
so
home
hard.
for them
I
to
don't know.
wreck it.
I don't know if you saw the Slash meme, but you guys shattered Sky so much that he was just emotionless.
It was
like there was
it
nothing behind his eyes. He was pure unfathomable pain that he numbed himself.
And I think that was Red's not intention to hurt him.
Not to hurt Sky, but to make sure he understood.
to call Arthur out, because it was like you are playing a very nasty game with a lot of people, and it's not fair. And she was trying to tell him, I'm done, but don't you dare go and continue pulling your shit on these people that are starting to fall for you now, and then the whole bracelet thing. So I was waiting to be able to say that to him, because he literally said, like, he had her bracelet still, the one that said "I trust you" on it, and that she had given him as a gift, which is not something she does. Trust is a big deal for Red, and for her to be able to say "I trust you" is a very difficult and very hard to earn thing. And so when she gave that to him, it meant more than just "I trust you," right?
Yeah.
When they were kind of officially broken up, she asked, "Can I have my bracelet back? Can I have the bracelet back?" And he's like, "I'd like to keep it, because it does make me feel better when I'm feeling sad and I can pull it out and look at it."
That was such a good line when
we
you said
left it
that.
there. We left it there. But then I used it against him and said, you don't get to hold on to a piece of my heart and pull it out to make you feel better when you're feeling bad,
Yeah, that puts so much in perspective. That alone.
So
that
she
line
went
alone.
and tossed it in the ocean. She got rid of it completely. She no longer has that bracelet. It's gone. She tossed it in the ocean along with all the pictures of Arthur, all the letters of Arthur.
Dumplings,
everything is in the ocean now. But again, all of that happening put Arthur on the trajectory of realizing that he couldn't keep playing these games, and turned his character into a complete 180 almost. So it needed to happen.
Yeah.
And now, and now he's dead. So
it started to happen.
Wrap that up.
In terms of that storyline, it did conclude kind of where you think it would have, right?
Yeah.
Just the love
Redemption
line.
arc.
Yeah.
And the thing with
things are starting to feel better.
Yeah, but for Elliot, for example, like Augustine was dead. Like that was all fixed and done. The first thing Elliot did with Stefan and everything, he was getting away from Arthur just so he would not hurt Arthur again. And like Augustine is dead, he wants to come out of his shell again, be closer to his father. He finally wanted to put Arthur above Red. He even bought an apartment above his apartment to get closer to Arthur. And he dies. And it's like, he sent like 30 text messages like, "Hey Dad, call me, I want to hang out." Like, "Hey Dad, you want to do something fun today? Hey Dad, I'm okay, how are you doing?" And like one text message back from Arthur, and it was like, oh,
that he's dead.
No, I would leave. It was like, "Oh, I'm busy with this. I'll call you tomorrow" or something like that.
Oh, I see. That he was being very short with you.
Yeah, and it finally wanted to put Arthur in front of Red and everyone else. I'd just be with his dad, and then it's just gone.
And he dies.
Yeah. And Elliot doesn't know how to fill his shoes too. It's like Elliot needs to get himself in order, which is hard because he doesn't have any answers.
Yeah. But I mean, if it we'll get there, obviously.
We'll get
eventually at some point.
And there's a few, like, you guys made a mistake. Like, Elliot knows about a fancy man or a man dressed fancy, and he knows about the gang. That was what was spilled at the grave.
Okay, well, he also needs to keep his fucking mouth shut.
And that's another thing. The only person, well, he spilled it to Sky on purpose / accident.
All right, well, we're all dead then.
Yeah.
But
We're
you
dead.
were in the room.
We're all
So
dead. Fuck it. Fuck it.
This
You
guy
were
had a
in the room,
conversation with
and-
Lena.
Which is why he's not in the investigation team.
And he also spilled it to Jerry, like, "Hey
Mm.
Jerry, this is what happened. Did you
Oh,
know
we're
it?"
dead.
You did not.
We're dead.
Yeah,
You
Oh
are
my
a little
God.
shit. You are
And
a
then-
little shit.
And
If
then
I
Jerry
perma,
called-
we'll be back here next week.
Yep.
Jerry
Oh,
called
Yep.
you, and that's why Elliot feels so alone. Like his mentor Miranda is dead, his father is dead. Jerry and him had like so many fights now. Like his best friend is gone. The only person he has technically left is Red.
Well, and you're about to fucking lose her if you
Yeah.
don't keep your mouth shut,
I
bruh.
mean,
God
he's
damn.
so like he wants to look into it, but also wants to leave it. But he feels like we're all sitting ducks.
We all...
Kid's gonna get himself
even-
and everyone else killed for that dumb shit.
I'm gonna get
can't
somehow
even
sucked into
right
this.
now.
I mean,
I know Tora. Oh,
Tora.
no. Elsa. Girl, you have been the one like hot topic of a lot of conversations is, oh God, when Elsa comes back and when Elsa finds out, like, it's going to be a rough one. It's been so hard. It has been so hard since the last, 2 days? I can't even remember anymore.
2 days, yeah.
3 days? Something
I
like
feel
that.
Like she will come back, and it's like, what the fuck?
But
happened? It's been
Arthur-
only 2 weeks.
Arthur, yeah, that, but Arthur and Elsa were close.
They were
Arthur and
really
Elsa were
close.
very close, and you know, her being a part of the team,
That's the only reason why
obviously
she
they
joined
hung
it.
out a lot. Yeah, they hung out a lot, and well, now that's not the only reason she joined it. Come on now, she joined because of Ashton.
Originally.
But her being around Arthur on a regular basis, you know, not just saying it's her brother, but actually hanging out with her brother, and having that almost daily relationship, like they were close, and that is going to be a hard one. It's going to probably hit about as hard as it hit all of us. So, not looking forward to that one. That's going to be a tearjerker, I'm sure. But anyways, do we have any other hot topics that we wanted to go over? I know we didn't really go too far back in the backtrack.
I want to say that I like it when people know when Elliot and Stefan are switching.
have I
Well, you
been
can
have I
tell.
been good at
You-
that?
Yeah, like you two like immediately know.
Yeah, you can tell that the difference. It goes from a baby talk to a
Yeah.
very
Like what the
Dark,
fuck?
monotone. Yeah, so you can tell the difference, and you do really good at it. Trust me.
That's actually
Uh,
something I wanted to know about Sky and Aishma. I know it is pretty clear, but I wanted to know the hot takes on it, I guess. From
For which part?
hang on one second. Sorry, I was struggling with a bag. And I lost my train of thought, but just the difference between Sky and Aishma versus when Aishma's pretending to be Sky.
That was a little bit harder for me to pick up on.
I could pick it
and
up.
as-
Yeah.
I could pick it up.
I picked
Elliot could not.
I picked up on it a little bit later than someone else. So like when we met Sky at the house with, and then
Which,
Matt
by the
pulled
way,
out the rod.
Total coincidence. That's just a place I went.
Oh yeah, no, that was Riley's house. the
I had no
one
idea.
that killed Arthur, the one that was with
Oh.
Roxy and killed Arthur.
Okay.
That's that house. Yeah. So
That's what I'm saying. The coincidences keep fucking happening to me.
well, you know what though, and I'll just say this real quick. The reason is because there's so many people in this city. You're gonna have these kind of coincidences
Yeah,
happen
for
when
sure,
you've got
for sure.
that many people in a server. But Terry, hey, we'll have a gauntlet waiting, bruh. So at that meeting in the backyard, and Mav pulls out the iron rod. It took me. I don't know what point he picked up on it, but it took me a hot minute to realize not only was it Aishma talking, but it was Aishma lying. That took me a hot second, but I did pick up on it. It just probably way later than he did.
Yeah, he picked up on it as soon as he opened the briefcase, and Sky's eyes got wide seeing the rod.
I will tell you something. They shared so much DNA that it was simultaneous with the rod. It was a feeling.
Really?
That because Sky could feel everything that Aishma could feel. So he would know if Aishma was quote unquote laughing at something, or if he was upset or offended. So that was Sky. That was Sky behind the wheel, but it was Aishma paying attention. It wasn't Aishma until it wasn't fully Aishma, I should say, until Maverick asked a question that Sky was like, "You don't already know? I'm not going to tell you then." Oh, it was what happens when you say Aishma's name.
Oh,
Aishma stepped in
on
and said,
it when I think I picked up on it when you said I want to talk to Ash.
Yep.
That's when I picked up on it.
That's
I was
when
like,
he stopped hiding. That's when he stopped playing coy about it.
I think Jeremy's going to take a new job. Read.
A lot of the conversations that you guys had with Sky was Sky. He was just being heavily influenced and restricted in his memories and very, very foggy. And Aishma was just able to step in whenever he wanted to.
Yeah. Jamie says, I think it's funny how I knew what Maverick was grabbing before he grabbed it.
That's cool. That's cool.
Right, straight out of the mouth of our #1 fan right there, y'all. Jamie.
I really love how Jamie is also like so involved with the investigations, like helping you. Like, oh, like maybe this could be this, or like this like could be that connected to this.
Oh, in the chat, you mean? Like throwing his opinions out? Yeah.
Yeah.
I always want to do that too, but I can't because I'm a fucking player.
Yeah, but like when I go to bed.
Well, it's not like I use it. It's just him throwing out theories and stuff. But I mean, all of your chats can say that kind of stuff, you know? That's not necessarily meta.
No.
It's just if you use it, it might be.
Yeah. Which is why I don't, because
Jamie...
if Sky were to learn something, I would go down that train of thought, you know?
Okay. I mean, yeah. You've investigated your last case. It's time for you to perhaps retire. Who are you talking to? Me? The fuck?
Arthur?
And Elliot said it before. He wants to go camping with the whole team. Just to like exercise.
Camping?
Before we get too far away though, I do want Ash's take on Aishma. And Mavericks. Just how that all went. Because I always let fucking conversations get away from me.
Yeah, you're good.
Well,
Maverick,
okay,
you can
I'm gonna.
go first, so.
Yeah, you guys go. Keep talking. I'm gonna step away for a few.
Bye.
Yeah, I thought the involvement with the Aishma was very cool. I was kind of concerned at first, and I talked to Jay about this a little bit. Is Maverick as a character is one that is entirely based in revolving around logic and digging into like lore. Mm-hmm. He's not a very fly by the seam of his pants type of guy.
Vision, I know.
And
the amount of shit you've made me look
a
up.
lot of like. Oh, sorry, go on.
They said, I know the amount of shit you made me look up after that interrogation. I was like, oh god, I'm not ready. I thought I was. I'm not.
Yeah, so he went down a pretty hefty route to try to find a few books to get lore on Aishma. Mm-hmm. But overall, I mean, everything worked very well, in my opinion. I think you portrayed Aishma accurately according to some of the stories of
thank God.
Things.
Thank fucking God.
Yeah, no, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was very good.
I'm so glad. Because that's the day one storyline. That was the character pitch. So the fact that it's come to fruition in such a way that I'm extremely happy with, to know that other people agree that it ended in a satisfying way.
Yeah, I thought it did too.
It's very relieving. Like that was my arc, you know, like that we done it now. This guy's something different now.
Yeah, I think it's always super fun when your character like finishes an arc like that because it's not a new character, but you know you get all that freedom of kind of where you want to take it.
And I have no idea. I think I'm just gonna like go live again later and just freelance on my own because he has the freedom to do that now.
Yeah, that is crazy.
What do you think, Dinesh?
I liked it. I liked the scenes that he got. Ash obviously was very involved, so there was a lot that he got to see that a lot of people didn't, which, you know, obviously that just pays to being how invested I was from the first day, you know.
Which I'm so
what weapon?
I'm so appreciative.
Yeah, no worries. But yeah, so and then also the little bit of like back and forth and all that was some of my favorite stuff. But yeah, I did like how you said, obviously while I was playing it I didn't feel that. I thought that the character was already grounded, but after you admitting that like you fleshed it out after, it definitely felt like rather than it just being that, it was storylines we hadn't unlocked yet and we were finally unlocking them, you know.
Everything I did was play it by ear. Like
Yeah.
Sky's entire creation was, this guy doesn't know if he has a demon or not, and this guy is completely malleable. He will become like the people he's around until he finds out who he is. So everything I did was trying to work off other people, but also at the same time getting absolutely validated in what I wanted to do for me, you know? Like Jim popped off with the taking him over like a slow dagger kind of thing, rather than fucking gunshot wound to the head type shit.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Well, James, right?
Yeah. What did I say?
Yeah. To Jim, it's his name.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was making sure.
This guy was yes man? A little. A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean that's super important though in any role playing capacity to yes and everything, really. I mean,
extremely intentionally why I did not write enough as much is what I mean. But Sky as a character existed before Purple anything. He exists as a story character that I write with my friend and that I have been for the last 13 years. So he's been around and it isn't exactly the same. There's a lot that's different, especially now. But like
that's what's important, is if your character is not fully grounded, doing the yes and helps a lot, because if you I guess put it into a corner and constantly say no to what the character can be, I guess, interpreted as, it can really put a character into a corner and you're kind of locked into something past that.
Exactly. And Hopper is doing something similar right now.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's important to be able to do that, because otherwise you won't really have any character development outside of things that you have pre-planned. And the ability to make your character malleable and adapt to the environment that they're in is super important.
And once again, Sky is completely malleable.
I'm personally not a fan of pre-planned RP. I don't mind going in with a plan, but you have to understand it's going to change and it is not going to play out the way you think it's going to. So I try to avoid pre-planned RP as much as I possibly can. Maybe just loosely plan.
I think it's cool to write your story of where you want it to go, but again, like having any expectation that it's going to go that way is definitely insane.
Well, for example, my character, when I first started playing her, like I said, she was a doctor. Started as a doctor, worked her way up at the hospital, became second in command. Never had any intentions of making her have a split personality. Never had any intentions of making her a bad guy. I was actually afraid to play a criminal character for the longest time, to be honest. And never had the intention of taking her down such an evil path. That happened naturally because of the RP that took place and me rolling with the RP for her, allowing the RP to direct where the character went, which ended up being really beautiful at the end of it all. And it's still, in the works, but
yeah, the things I know about Red Story, Red Mama, like all of those is just stunning.
That what? Sorry, I didn't hear the beginning part.
Everything that I know about the story, Red's story, Mama's story, is absolutely stunning.
Which is, yeah, well, it's kind of why I was doing the little behind, or not the walk down memory lane podcast that I've been doing, because the people from the server that I came from Aftermath, they knew what happened to my character. They knew her story. A lot of the people here don't. So there's a lot of new viewers and stuff like that. And I felt it would be kind of cool to explain how the character actually came to be, because when I talk about my character's lore in character, when I talk about that, none of it's made up. None of it is made up. Everything actually happened. And I know, I'm not saying having a made up character backstory is a bad thing necessarily, but I never made a backstory for her. All of her backstory is stuff that I just rolled with and stuff that actually happened. Which, again, going back to not using pre-planned RP, which I'm not a fan of. I'm a fan of just rolling with it. It takes your character in a direction that you could never have envisioned. Yeah. And you get so much better, more fulfilling RP that way. I personally feel that.
And the lore goes a lot deeper because it's it's with actual players, you know.
For sure.
Well, and then you've got people to back up your lore, like Jen. Jen is a huge, like, she's been there with my character since day one, for the most part. I don't think we met day one necessarily, but we were in the server at the same time. And the relationship that the two of them developed when she was at the hospital and she was second in command, Jen was commissioner of SAST, and the two of them shared this struggle, I guess you could say, of being women in high positions and being not taken seriously, in a sense. Mama had tried at one point to apply for commissioner of the hospital, and she got passed over for someone else who was hardly ever on duty. And it was very defeating. And, you know, but then also Jen was having her issues with feeling underappreciated and not taken seriously in her role as commissioner. And there were several branches of PD. So it wasn't just her. There was, you know, she was commissioner of SAST, but there was also LSPD and BCSO and DOC. There was more than just her as a head of a department, but she struggled with the other chiefs and commissioners not taking her seriously as far as decisions that were being made for the entirety of the city. And that was something that the two of them shared in private conversations of, you know, struggling to compete against a world full of men that are in power, in a sense.
Yeah.
And so it did take on this mother-daughter role in the beginning, with Jen looking up to Mama as a motherly figure, because Jen's mother was no longer around. And then it ended up taking a serious turn downward when Red started taking over, when the split personality started coming out and pushing Mama down and to a point almost holding her hostage and not allowing Mama back out. And it's now to that point where I wouldn't say so much Red holding Mama hostage anymore, but Mama completely having just tossed in the towel. Yeah. And especially after Corny. So the whole thing with Corny is what really fucked it up, because Red and Mama had that conversation. I don't know how much you guys know that they had an internal heart-to-heart, I guess you could say, where Red agreed, I'm not going to prevent you from showing up, from coming out and waking up, per se, the way she had been before. And so they had this agreement that they would, you know, whenever Mama wanted to come out, it would be okay, agreed, she wouldn't try to stop her, and vice versa. And then the very, very first day, actually it was the next day. So after that conversation, the very next day, I think it was the next day, Mama came out because Corny wanted to talk to her. And they go and they have this nice long sit down conversation. And then he points a gun at her and says, what's the number one way to hurt Red? Is to kill you. And he shot her.
Oof.
and put her in a
Holy
coma.
fuck.
Yeah. So at that point, Red was like, I can't let her out because she'll get us killed every fucking time. So that's where that development took place, where Mom was just like, I give up. So, yep, that is literally the words that came out of his mouth is, how do I hurt Red? By killing you. Because Red protects you. And he wanted, and that was the crazy part is, so that, and then the second part of it where Red ended up in the ICU and became Ghost for a while, that was also, so, I'm trying to remember back. So after she got shot the first time, the whole point of it was Corny wanted Mama back. And that was his whole intention, was to try to get Mama back. He was trying to get rid of Red the whole time. And that was the initial approach that he took was how do I hurt Red, and then shooting Mama and all that stuff. But what I think it did is backfired on him because he thought he was trying to get rid of Red. What he ended up doing was basically getting rid of Mama. And then there was a second conversation with Corny where he told Red that unless you bring Mama back, I am going to come after Arthur and Lena and everyone that you know and care about. And he basically promised to become the next Adam Hunter and said, I'm going to kill them and I'm going to make you watch. And I'm going to continue to do it every day until you bring Mama back. And then that is why Red made the decision that she made. It wasn't about, let's get together and team up and take this guy down. She was now in a traumatized state of mind, remembering, so that some of the things that Corny said are almost verbatim what Adam Hunter promised her as well. Almost some of this exact same choice of words were used against her when Adam Hunter did it to her. Well, to Mama, I should say. And that promise that Adam Hunter made to her came true. He did not go back on his promise. He kept his promise. And so there was this moment of trauma, or PTSD, I guess you could say, of hearing those words come out of Corny's mouth again and her realizing, I'm not going to sit back and allow that to happen a second time. So she took the matters into her own hands and made it so that Red was supposed to go away. So that was the whole agreement that she and Corny had in that conversation on the cliff, where you guys ended up going and searching for a while to see if you could find the bullet casings where she was shot down. That was the conversation that the two of them had, Red and Corny, was that you're going to take me out. You're going to inject this into me, which was a concoction that she had created that was basically going to kill all the peptides in her body. And what was the version of Red that was in her, I guess you could say. And the agreement was, you're going to do this, you're going to inject me with this, Red will be gone. And he says, well, does that bring Mama back? And Red says, I don't know what happens after. That's all she promised him. I don't know what happens after, but it will kill me. And so he agreed. He shot her, injected her, and then took off. And that was where Red was supposed to not necessarily die, but she was not supposed to wake up again for a long ass time. And it was supposed to be Ghost. And it was just going to be Ghost for a while because it was neither going to be Mama nor Red. But I didn't factor in Jen. I thought of all of this. And then Jen comes barging into the rescue to do the blood transfusion of her blood, which Red and Jen share. And so as soon as that happened, I was like, well, shit, here we go. Red's coming back. She's been saved. But that was what actually went down, which I think I've explained in character a couple of times. But the severity, I think, of the conversation that Red and Corny had, and the similarity of some of the choice words that he used against her or to her, is what put her in this mindset of, I can't let this happen again. Because the first time it happened was I mean, without having Jen here to explain and back it up, I don't think anyone can really grasp the severity of what it was that happened the first time when this group, this cult of serial killers and being charged, or not charged, spearheaded by Adam Hunter, who was their main killer. He wasn't the leader of the group. That was Cricket Brown. But their main killer was Adam Hunter, and he was so fucking good and evil at it. This hunt against her that lasted 2 months, I want to say. And it was so scary because it didn't matter where I tried to hide. In a bush, behind a building, in an alley, on a roof. These guys kept finding her. And it was sheer coincidence that it kept happening. But when you sit there and you go around the city in your vehicles and you split up as a crew and sit there and do nothing but search for a single person all day long, you're bound to find them. And they kept doing it. And then it got to the point where they were not just doing it to her, they started doing it to her family. They started doing it to her friends, taking her grandson and kidnapping him and making her watch as he got smashed with a truck. You know, kidnapping and setting people on fire in front of her and making and then the fact that they kept telling people when they would ask, why are you doing this? They would say, you can thank mama. She hasn't learned her lesson yet. But they would never tell her what the lesson was. That was the kicker. They would never tell mama what the lesson was. She had to figure it out on her own. And eventually she finally figured it out. Stop snitching to the cops. And so that is why this character avoids PD at all costs. For the most part, the only person she trusts is Jen. She will not go to cops because she was conditioned not to. So that's a little bit more of that backstory as to why that is. But yeah, it's really corny that's really corny that did the whole get rid of mama thing, unfortunately, because it was like, well, I can't let her out again. She's going to get us killed again. Freaking corny. Exactly. Can I?
One second,
corny.
I'll be right back.
I
Okay.
have a question.
Go ahead.
It's about the not planning the RP. It's, for example, when you had full control over the chip, of the CP13 chip.
Yes.
And you asked like, hey, what can I know? And I was literally like, I don't care. Ask what you want to ask and I'll make a page for it. Which spent more time than I thought on making the pages, but it was fun.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh.
And then also, when we did the blood test for Elliot to be maybe Arthur's actual kid.
Uh-huh.
Like I told Mark, who plays Arthur, like I don't care. You can come up with it. Did he roll a dice or not? Because I was in the other room and you were with him, so I don't know.
I don't know if he did or not. I think he did. Yeah, I kind of sort of recall perhaps him sending me a screenshot of a die roll around that time. And I think I remember saying, don't you fucking dare. Because he was getting another kid. I'm like, don't you fucking dare. I do believe he dice rolled for that one. He said it did. He said it did. Gotta trust him. Yeah. But yes, I'm pretty sure he went with a dice roll on that.
That's amazing.
So
Mark loves his dice.
He really does.
He really loves.
I don't mind using dice. I don't mind
either.
using dice roll when it makes sense. I just don't like. I don't want a dice roll to decide what my character is going to eat for the day. Like, for fuck's sake, you know what I mean? Like, let me be in a little bit of control of my character. God damn. But dice rolls for big decisions and things like that, things that could go either way and maybe you're on the fence. Yeah, that I get. Or if something's going to work, like unlocking a door or finding something buried in the ground, you know, those types of things, and especially if it involves somebody else in the RP with you, I get dice rolling for that. That makes sense. I just don't like using it every time I turn around. I've been meaning to ask, where did you get the document you used for the files? Jamie's asking you that, Max.
Where I make the pages and stuff, or where
did you get the documents? Do you mean he made
I
them?
Yeah, I made them on an app called Canva. It's real simple.
Yeah, Canva's a fucking lifesaver, dude.
Yeah, I love making pages. I wanted to make a page why Elliot actually hates his birthday.
Bro.
That
But
shit
then
was
also
so sad.
And then Arthur
That
also
one
died on his
hurts.
birthday.
That hurts so bad to hear that. I was like, there's no fucking way. There's no fucking way that just happened.
I was laughing
heartbreaking.
so hard. I was like, okay, it's my birthday IRL too, because I'm very bad with dates. So I gave Elliot my birthday. And I was like, okay, Elliot already hates his birthday for like a different reason. And now Arthur died too on his birthday.
The scream when I realized.
Poor
That
kid,
was
man.
so. I
real.
mean, and no wonder he's so fucked up at this point. You know, now, goddamn.
But that's so, like, parts of like what Augustine did, but not what happened after he got released from the whole. Yeah. So she still had control over him.
It's how Emmy decided to tell Mav the truth, but still on a bit of a warpath. Yeah.
I also love the Amy and Mav relationship.
Yeah, I
Like-
was surprised with
Oh, that
that
is it?
because Mav had met all of them like when he first moved to San Andreas, but he never really followed up in that connection with Emmy. He was very much taken aback in light of recent events.
Mm-hmm. Maybe it's just the way that she's trying to cling to somebody for information.
Maverick does have that in the back of his mind, but
Yeah.
he's trying to give the benefit of the doubt.
I think Emmy might be using her emotions to her advantage. Kind of
Oh,
using it as a way to
100%.
to manipulate that information.
100%.
Yeah, 100%. Which is a smart thing to do, but 100. Yeah, no. We'll see what happens in that. But all right, did we have anything else that we needed to go over within like the next 5 minutes? Because it's almost 5 o'clock. Well, PST, it's almost 5 o'clock. So we've been going for what?
Almost 4 hours.
Almost 4 hours.
Jeez Louise.
And I definitely want to jump in the city. So do we have anything else imperative to talk about?
I'm just
Yeah.
excited
I think
for
we're good.
whatever happens next.
I have one question.
What's your question?
Yesterday, Elliot said, "Hey, if there's any update, text me."
Who?
Update for what?
If they were still being followed, if they still had to go in hiding. Elliot did not get text.
You know what though? Give me a break. Give me a break. It's so much to keep track of right now. Shit. That was my bad.
Oh, you know what I wanted to ask the people without Perry Club, if anyone in here doesn't have it, how long has it queue been?
It was when I was getting in, it was at like 60s. So
Consistently, or
yeah, that's what at least what I saw.
And how long does that take to sit through?
For me, it took about maybe 45 minutes.
Everyone just got hired into
motherfucker,
Sam's
Oh no, what am I
EMS
saying? Never mind. No,
no, you got it.
I forgot. I have Perry.
queue.
I was like, oh yeah.
I was gonna go
forgot
queue
about
up.
that.
Never mind.
Smiles and EMS
right.
queue.
I think we're good to call it here. Does everyone agree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a good 4-hour conversation. We got a lot out there, so and rip Arthur.
Oh, I promised Lana
Big
this.
rip.
It's Lana's fault. Lana's fault. I promised her this.
No,
Just make sure we
Yes,
understand.
it is.
It's Lena's fault.
It is Lena's fault.
It's
Yeah, it is.
Aphrodite, Alina's, and Roxy.
Nah, you forgetting Arthur, bro. It's like
I know,
85 or
It's
something.
like a lot. I would say 90.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Arthur was just
I was-
fucking dumb.
Yeah. I mean, Roxy finding out about all of it, Aphrodite and Lena, but Arthur dying, Arthur.
Arthur.
Yeah,
It's all
That's Arthur.
100%.
Yeah.
That's
That was
that
Arthur.
mess.
That was all him. And shit, could you imagine if
Oh.
someone else in the group permit? Oh Lord,
This guy and
would have been.
Ash had a moment.
Mercs.
I rolled
I
death
saw
saves.
somebody. I was gonna say I saw somebody roll a dice at the scene.
Yeah.
That was yours.
Luckily, I got a 17 and a nat 20, so I was like, he's fine.
I think
Damn.
Rick
I mean-
Richards would disagree. The shit you put him through in that surgery.
Yeah, I'm not gonna spoil too much, but all I'm gonna say is when Maverick was in the hospital, if I rolled lower than a 10, Maverick's character would have entirely changed because of one of his injuries.
Oh, okay. So it's not so much rolling for a perma, but rolling for a arc.
Yeah, when he was in the hospital, I rolled 2 death saves. But when I got the nat 20, I was like, he's gonna live. He's fine. But the injury,
gotcha.
like how long and how severe the injury would have been.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of rolling for my character's perma, but I think I think that's just because I have no plans to perma my character. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's entirely fair. I'm just so accustomed to it from the TTRPGs and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, me too. Yeah.
I can't get it out of my head.
Yeah.
I have one more question.
Go ahead.
Did you get your PC fixed? Because you said
No.
2 days ago.
No. No. I
So
will.
sorry.
I will. It's not a fixed thing. I just need to get the RAM upgraded. So it's not like it's broken. It's just slow.
No, me and you both. I
need-
just fixed mine.
Yeah, download
Yeah.
more storage.
Okay.
What do you have DDR4?
I don't Yes, I don't know. Oh no, that's
Yes,
the one
I
I have
don't
to
know.
check, huh?
No,
No, that's the one I
DDR5 is the one that you need to check if your motherboard's compatible with. I
Right.
very strongly doubt your motherboard would be incompatible with DDR4 unless you had a fucking
Really old.
over
PC.
20-year-old motherboard.
Yeah, no, it's a fairly new computer. So then it's probably the other one. Running on 16 gigabytes kinetic, which that's what I need to upgrade. That's why it's getting the headaches and shit.
Ah.
Yeah, I need to upgrade.
Yeah, it may not just be the amount of RAM, but it could also be the speed of it. That's what's super important when it comes to RAM.
I've never ran GTA on anything under than 64 gigabytes, so I don't know the issues when it looks like that. Sorry, I cut myself off.
No, you're good. Yeah, well, I mean, I could do that. It doesn't matter. It's 32 to 64 isn't that big of a difference, but I
Yeah,
don't think I need the 64.
No, that'd be overkill.
Yeah, so just the 32, and that's not that expensive, so it shouldn't be an issue. It's just my brother never got back to me, so hopefully next weekend. Reed Walker says I have returned. There was a pug looking for Snuggles. Aw. You have a 32? Oh yeah, possibly if it's like in good condition. I might hit you up for that. All right, guys. I think we're good here. I want to go jump in the city and get this RP going again. And I guess we'll see you guys in there.
Yeah, see everyone in there.
Oh yeah.
All
If Sky lets anyone know he's awake.
Huh?
Oh, my audio. Oh,
'Cause what? What'd you say?
Okay, I'm good now.
What did you say?
My everything,
Golden.
everything just broke for a split second there.
No.
Everything just exploded.
All right.
All right, see everyone in
All
there.
right. We'll see you guys in there. Thanks for joining,
Later.
everyone. It was fun.
Bye.
right, bye.
Love
Thanks for
y'all.
having me for
Bye.
this time. You. Abandoned. Oh boy. Man. Let's split up chat. Everyone else, go away. You all belong to me now. You're all mine now. One thing I didn't get to say that I kind of wish I did, I just couldn't. I feel like I was being too self-gratifying and looking for like other people's perceptions of what I did. Because I swear I wasn't fishing for compliments or anything. I'm just kind of autistic like that, where I don't know how I come across. Something that I wanted to say that I couldn't bring up is my favorite fucking scene from Aishma is when Jen came up at the casino while Aishma was making that deal with Ash, and Aishma decided to start just pretending to be Sky. Didn't even let Sky back out, just pretended to be him. And the entire time, Ash was just taunting, like, you are way too fucking good at that. I know you're laughing. And it's like, this is the best. I hope he knows that I am laughing. Oh, I was so nervous. I was so nervous to be a part of that. I hope I was normal. I hope I was normal. I'm gonna finish eating these fucking dumplings. And maybe I'll stream some more tonight in City. Thanks. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, I love you. I gotta put some stuff back. How they go? Like the chat. Have fun, dumplings. Oh my god, I will. Oh my god, I will. Oh, I super will. Oh. Song. Okay. I'm gonna eat. Came back from Mama's stream to that. Gotta post office. Thanks, guys. I love you. Oh. Oh, I'm just so happy to be involved. I'm just so happy. Okay, yeah, I'll give a dumpling to everybody in chat. Here you go. Line up. One dumpling for you. They're fat motherfucking dumplings too. They are huge. All right, enjoy. Enjoy. I'm just so happy to be involved. I feel so lucky. I feel so lucky that all those coincidences kept happening to me. Oh my god. I'm good dumplings for my tumbik. Let's fucking go. Thank you for the bit. I feel like I don't want to go. I feel like I want to keep having this fucking Tism conversation, but I might see you later tonight. Otherwise, I'll be in Marky's chat. Okay, bye.